guys out. Decoy.
That was beast.
Game, record, and stream without compromise on Intel Core i7.
The ESL India Premiership 2018 has 3 seasons: summer, fall, and winter. The summer season takes place from April to June, while the fall season runs from July to September. Finally, the winter season takes place from October to December. Coming to tournament formats, each season is divided into 3 tiers: the professional tier, the Master League; the semi-professional tier, the Challenger Series; the Open tier, the Starter Cups. Moving on to the frequency, every season in the ESL India Premiership 2018 will see 1 Master League, 3 Challenger Series, and 3 Starter Cups. The Masters League now hosts 12 teams and players. Meanwhile, the Challenger Series has 8 contestants and follows a double elimination format. Finally, the Starter Cups are now limited to only 128 participants, so make sure you register for the Premiership now. Once you register for the Starter Cup 1, you'll have to fight your way to the top. At the end of the phase, you will get promoted to the Challenger Series 1. You should try and maintain your position in the Challenger Series 1, 2, and 3. But this is no easy task. At the end of every phase, the bottom 2 contestants are dropped out. They are replaced by the top teams from the Starter Cups. Those who succeed in the Challenger Series are rewarded with promotion to the Master League. The top 4 teams will proceed to play in the next season's Masters League. Meanwhile, the Master League runs uninterrupted until the end of the season. The 12 champions will constantly try to establish their dominance over the others. But at the end of a season, the bottom 4 teams are relegated to the Challenger Series, while the top 4 play at the LAN finale for the top prize. ESL India Premiership 2018 begins in April. The registrations are on, so make sure you sign up now.
Turn around 3 times. Start shooting.
This is the first ever Omen X laptop for gamers that go to extremes. Gear up with the machine designed for total domination and engineered for gaming in stunning 4K. Equipped with the latest Intel Core processors, it gives you the power to be relentless. With a 17.3-inch diagonal screen and desktop-class graphics, you get maximum performance to be victorious anywhere. With multiple fans and large exhaust vents, heat is transferred away from critical components for dynamic overclocking. Ramp up boot times, game loading, and overall system responsiveness with optional RAID 0 SSD configurability. An RGB LED backlit mechanical keyboard lets you program each individually lit key to create customized key maps that switch seamlessly between games. With 2.5mm travel and in-key rollover, you can take out your competition with more accuracy and precision. Designed for extreme immersion, DTS Headphone X technology comes built in for surround sound experience that puts you right in the middle of the action. With the addition of a VR headset, gamers can step inside a completely immersive world for an elevated gaming experience. Single-panel access to key components makes serviceability and upgrading easy, so you won't be sidelined or held back on your road to supremacy. It has a brushed aluminum finish on an armor-like chassis. A jet fighter-like construction with hidden lift hinges ensures you're always at the ready. And with striking lighting effects and see-through window to components, others will know too. Unleash your fiercest gameplay anywhere with the extreme performance of the new Omen X laptop.
That was beast.
Game, record, and stream without compromise on Intel Core i7.
The ESL India Premiership 2018 has 3 seasons: summer, fall, and winter. The summer season takes place from April to June, while the fall season runs from July to September. Finally, the winter season takes place from October to December. Coming to tournament formats, each season is divided into 3 tiers.
Welcome everybody to another edition of the ESL India Premiership 2018 Summer Season Masters League, and I'm your host, Vagish Godslebhan. And joining me in the studio today is none other than the man, G-Man, Gautam Virkaholic Virk. Oh my God, this guy's got the swag in place, man. Oh my God, this guy's just got the swag rolling around him aerodynamically. Moving on. So, Gautam bhai, how's the day going so far?
Well, day is going fine. Good, exciting Clash Royale as always. So super hyped up for that. I'm hyped up for everything Clash Royale.
Wow, you're always hyped up for Clash Royale. Where is the love when it's CS? Adi always complains.
No, that's because I'm watching the game of CS.
Ah.
I'm enjoying. I'm in the game at that point.
It's okay.
But right
control,
now,
control. It's okay. It's okay. But ladies and gentlemen, we have an interesting game of Clash Royale lined up for you guys today. It's between 2 amazing players. So let's get to know them first, one by one. Let's get to know the first person here, Mrinl. All right, well, that's Mrinl. He has been the champion of the then winter season in 2016.
So at that time, the format was completely different, by the way. So that time, the format used to be like all the build-up from the beginning of the year, but the big LAN finale used to happen at the end. Not that the LANs didn't happen in between. However, the big prize money used to be sitting in winter. So and then in 2017 we changed that around to hard stops for summer, hard stop for fall, and hard stop for winter. Everything kind of resets, and the prize money is kind of equally distributed across 3. So when we did the first Premiership, which was in 2016, Mrinl actually came in and won the finale, and which was big news back then. There was the big finale.
He ended up winning the Challenger 2 also in Bangalore, if
that's
I'm not wrong.
actually how he got there, right?
Yeah.
So that time we did Challengers, we went up, so we did starters and Challengers and then finals. So it was a very long
India gaming show, everything, And plus, I believe over the course of time, the competition has also grown. And so have the number of players. I mean, that's the thing with any sport there. Mrinl, at that time, I'm presuming Clash Royale as a competitive esport was still in its nascent stages.
And I wouldn't say that. What I would say is that Mrinl is like, it's not that Mrinl has gotten worse or something.
Oh no, he hasn't.
There's been a lot more talent which has been coming lately. A lot of people have been getting into the sport. So the competition is heated up, and we saw Mrinl actually perform really well on the last LAN also. So he ended up coming 4th or 5th.
Close,
So he's not had that big first position so far for quite some time, and currently in the standings he's kind of sitting around 6th also. So we'll look at the updated standings after the match finishes. But
for now, let's give some attention to the opposition here, Saif Patel. All right, that's Saif Patel there. I'm another Masters League player there. Pretty good player at that. We have seen some really nice plays coming from this chap.
Yeah, Saif is doing fairly well. Actually, anyone who's in Masters is doing fairly well in his Clash Royale career. However, this is all these guys were invited into the Clash Royale League because this was the first one of its kind in 2018. So as we go along, there'll be more promotions and relegations happening, and further down the year, basically, you will end up with only the cream of the crop, basically.
Yeah, that's something worth noting there. In fact, let's take a deeper look at both these players here. Not much of a difference when it comes to the crowns. Both these players, Mrinl loves the Bandit, Three Musketeers favored by Saif Patel. Not much of a difference except the number of matches played, highest number of trophies gained.
Yeah.
So that's like around 5,700 for Saif.
I don't think Mrinl has been playing as much as he used to, and this is back.
I've been informed by the production that apparently Mrinl has taken a major liking to Arena of Valor. So that's another new scene. Maybe one day.
In any case, that's fine. His performance is not hindered as such, and he's still there. Like he's still playing fine. I'm actually surprised by how well Urban is playing in the online cups, and he's been having a blast so far. So,
indeed. Also, okay. Just I'll give a shout out to my man Mrinl. If you're watching this game, dude, I've been informed that you better make it to the finals because you have a headphone which belongs to the production personnel. Okay, I've done my job. Now moving on, we have the band cards on the screen, as you can see.
A second ago, did you notice how it said favorite cards of Saif was Three Musketeers? So clearly someone knows who the favorite card is. So
yeah, somebody's been leaking information. Need to speak to Kevin Fernandez.
No, that information is available online on
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. So Three Musketeers banned by Mrinl Lakar, whereas the Inferno Dragon gets banned by Saif Patel.
So with Inferno Dragon out of the picture, Inferno Dragon is that key card you need to stop those big giant cards walking slowly towards the tower because of the
lot of DPS.
Because as you know, the Inferno Dragon kind of builds up the DPS over a few seconds. It's like laser, and then really charged up laser. And if you ever played a game called StarCraft, so we had Void Rays back then. So they've taken a complete reference from that.
You had to bring StarCraft in.
Oh yes, that's what I do every day, right? So Inferno Dragon ban is quite interesting. Of course, we have a replacement for Inferno Dragon. There's an Inferno Tower. So the same form, but with more.
It's just that it doesn't
immobile form.
It's more of a defense unit rather than an offense unit. So yeah, that's.
But it's quite nice to see a ban like an Inferno Dragon coming in, which will add some twist to the game compared to what we've been usually seeing. Is like we've had a Goblin Barrel ban, we've seen the Golem ban, and we've seen Bandit bans, and even the Dark Prince.
Giant bans.
Yes, giant bans we've also seen.
I'm very amazed that nobody's used a Royal Giant so far. I just saw a Royal Giant ban once in this summer season, but nobody's used a Royal Giant.
I think the Royal Giant is kind of fallen out of the meta right now because it did get heavily nerfed back then, so it's not as good as it used to be, and a lot of people are doing a lot of bridge spam also. So it's quite difficult to play with Royal Giant right now. But
okay.
Anyways,
well, that sums up our pre-game here. Let's head off into the game and see what's in store for us actually.
All right, so we are here in game 1 of this best of 5 between Mrinl and Saif, and I'm actually pretty excited, man. Saif has put down his elixir collector, so Mrinl, the clock is kind of ticking. This puts a little stopwatch in the match where like, hey, I have put this down. What are you gonna do about it?
Indeed.
And that's the point where people need to respond, and the way Mrinl is responding is very well. He's used the poison, so he's gonna deny the elixir collector at the same time, doing a lot of damage onto that tower as well. Very well defended, I would have to say. He's been an excellent start for Mrinl.
Indeed, and what's great to notice is the fact that Mrinl has put forth only limited cards. If you see, he's just put forward a giant, he's put forward his skeleton.
Yeah, because he didn't need to do any more. And guess what? Saif has put down his big trump card, so now Mrinl know exactly what's coming. And it is the Night Witch and the Golem combo, and followed by a Bandit also. So probably see a Bandit coming out soon. So he's going to have to deal with this, and Giant now distracted by that building is switched over sides, and a very nice Prince drop in the back will target the Bandit there. Bandit is causing a lot of havoc, by the way.
Indeed. The Golem This push has metamorphosized into a lot of people.
Yeah, a lot of units now attacking the tower. This tower is going to go down fairly quickly. His main tower could be in trouble also because the Lumberjack DPS is high level. So I think Bridge kind of given up on this match right now.
Yeah.
I don't think he has any hope. He's going to lose this match very
He's
quickly.
absolutely not even like putting in units. He knows this match is done and dusted. That's a pretty fast one there coming in from Saif. 3 crown victory, first round itself.
Yes, excellent match here by Saif Patel. Mrinl, I think something happened there. Yeah? It just doesn't make any sense why Mrinl would give up so easily.
Or maybe Mrinl is testing waters. One game still, and you can never know.
That's really positive.
I'd like to be positive. Apparently, then I'll be flamed online saying, hey, Vagish does not support the other person and the team they played so well and so on.
Oh, Vagish has such an accent.
Well, that sums up our round 1 here. Saif Patel has a 3 crown victory over Mrinl.
A very quick victory also. I don't think we even hit the double elixir time or something.
Yeah.
So we're back in game 2 now between Mrinl and Saif. And I thought Mrinl was doing fairly well in the game 1, but however just did not have a good answer to the golem coming in. I think something happened. Maybe disconnected or something. He kind of accepted his defeat.
Maybe not. But Hog Riders come out and he's got a couple of hits in. But we see a minion army coming in. And then a princess there.
A nice distraction coming out from Princess. He has the Dart Goblin, which is nice to have, but the log will chip him off and take him down fairly quickly. So not able to get much value out of there. Princess will get a little tag of a blast there from an ice golem and zapped away.
And then electrified
yeah.
into oblivion.
Now Princess is another unit that you need to kind of figure out how to deal with because she kind of sits out of the range of everything and kind of shoots away.
She's like a walking X-bow. Which is weird because then her arrows are like also lit AF.
Yeah.
That's literally lit AF.
Yeah. Very interestingly, the P.E.K.K.A. actually targets the right unit right off the bat. The Hog Rider kind of pushed aside the Ice Golem and came in the front, which is something that Saif was not planning to.
Indeed.
However, kind of took that damage there. But that's a fully health P.E.K.K.A. on the left-hand side that he needs to deal with. Drops down a minion. And same thing kind of happened. Similar result was what was acquired on the right-hand side, but didn't work out for him. The mini P.E.K.K.A. actually ended up targeting the Golem instead of the Hog Rider, so which was nice for him. So decent play there. Mrinl has taken heavy losses.
Mrinl is already in the trip digits on the left tower. Hog Rider is already making his way, and he's getting free hits there. And I see nothing coming in from Mrinl. Has he disconnected? What? What in 7 hells? Is he still deciding what to do?
I think he's pushing a big push on the right-hand side. But I don't know why he needed to get rid of. He did not have enough elixir to drop down the big unit, but he could have had a bunch of all options also. He has the zap. He could use it right now. Uses the lightning instead and zap also.
This is a very failed push. He is on 4 elixir. He's still rejuvenating, and then we see a lot of damage coming in. And I definitely see this game going out of hands of Mrinl.
Yeah, well, because there's not a lot of time left on the clock here, and we need to figure this out.
Indeed. No amount of push can make you survive the kind of onslaught you're like facing in from Saif right now. And that itself is a sight to watch.
Here comes a log to clear out few units there. He will try to make one last push, but the Ice Spirit is there to slow him down and will not be able to get a single hit on the tower. And
this
5
is
seconds left
definitely
on
a
the clock.
Saif's game. I have zero idea. I do not understand.
All right.
I absolutely do not understand. I'm still reeling in from the shock, Gautam, here. I don't know why, what, where, but this game, I'm now suspicious. Now I'll let go of my positivity. I think Mrinl DC'd in between. Did he DC in between?
I don't know. He did have enough elixir to put down a mega minion there to stop that Hog Rider, but he decided not to put anything down and save up for the P.E.K.K.A. and drops the P.E.K.K.A. on the completely different side and hoping to do a end-all push on that side. So
very weird, very weird.
It is quite weird actually. So I think the game 3, with the way Mrinl is playing right now, I don't think this is going to go past game 3.
Yeah, so I'm highly doubtful about it. Well, game 3 is live about now, and I see some change. I see an Executioner, a Cyclone, Poison, and a Graveyard in Mrinl's deck. Whereas Royal Ghost and a Prince also in Saif's deck.
No,
Both of them
you
have
do
got
not see
poison.
that. No, you don't see that. I think you need to take some glasses off to kind of see what's happening. But anyways, here comes the big push. Mrinl's kind of gone for that bit more defensive build where he's going to be using the Nado and the Executioner together to bunch up the units together and do a lot of damage. So which is going to be quite interesting for him. He should be able to hold off any big pushes coming at him. And what his offensive cards are, he's going to put the Graveyard and the Poison together and hope to finish the game one for all. Right now, Saif, we've seen he has a few units to help him with that push, and he also has the Archer, so the magical Archer can do great amount of damage. As you can see, he's actually hitting 2 units at the same time, and here comes the big push. So he will be using there you go, he uses the Cyclone, bunches the units together and doing a lot of damage to both of these units, pretty much defending that push fairly well.
I like the Executioner. I like the swirling axe thing.
So imagine now swirling axes and imagine all the units bunched up together with the
And a
because of
Cyclone?
tornado. The Nado and Executioner, they combo extremely well together, and it's absolutely devastating. Doesn't matter how big of a push that you have coming in there. So you well-placed Nado and an Executioner will pretty much defend your base like nothing else. So excellent card to have there. The Archers being dropped. Archers actually recently got buffed because if you placed him like this in the last round, in the last patch, actually, he would not be able to hit the skeletons. So they've made his animation a bit faster. His bullet speed has gone up a bit.
Yeah.
So to kind of help him out, because he was not looking like a magical archer back then. He was just looking like not so magical archers. So nice distraction tactic being used there. And there comes the big Nado bunching everyone together. Not able to get everyone together pretty well, but still
trying
does
to get them
plenty
in
of damage.
all in a grind. Trying to get them all in a grind.
So this is the power. Now he has a double elixir time right now. I think it's time that he kind of shows his card. He's waiting for the right opportunity to put the Graveyard. Remember, the Graveyard is still not been revealed. So Saif has no idea that his opponent has a Graveyard. And now Mrinl is waiting for the right opportunity to do as much damage as possible. And so he can actually close this game quickly. So here comes the log. The Poison also comes out to defend. He should be using a Nado right about now, but he has another Executioner available to him, so he can hold on to the Nado. So very well held. The Giant will get a few hits off, but taken care of fairly decently. So now Mrinl again not getting the opportunity that he's looking for to put down the Graveyard. So and this is what's kind of costing him. And finally the Graveyard does come down, and here's the big push that Mrinl was looking for. The Poison also placed down, and Saif is still holding on to his Poison, not using it. Excellent grouping up. However, the Executioner was not alive.
The Archer cleared out all the damage from behind enemy lines there.
And here comes the counter attack now, which Mrinl needs to deal with. So here comes the swirling axes doing a bunch of damage what they need to be. The magical archer is being a little bit annoying, but taken care of as well. So Mrinl now in a lot of trouble, needs to hold this attack off. See that Nado and so much damage being done. And look at that. There's actually two Executioners on the field, and they're doing a crap load of damage. By the way,
It's like you stepped into a blender, but this tower is gonna go down.
Yes, and as predicted by the end of second game, this is a 3-0 in favor of Saif Patel. That was a quick 3-0 victory, my friend.
I have zero idea why Mrinl would let go of 3 games that easily. It's very unlike Mrinl.
Actually, he let go of the first 2 games very easily, but the third game was he did put on a bit of a fight.
He did put on a good fight there.
I'm hoping that you have a good internet connection at home, buddy, because that was not as we planned. You know, here at ESL India Premiership, we put a bar. You know, we put a bar, and we expect you guys to kind of go over that bar, and this was below bar performance. Yes.
This is not.
I like my Coke Thanda, but this was a Thandi Chai, my friend.
Yeah, this is like, actually, this is like Thandi Chai. We expect cold coffee, but no Thandi Chai.
Yeah.
But again, good fight was put forward by Mrinl Lakar, so definitely can't complain in the third game. So the first 2 games were absolutely weird. Neither Gautam or me can understand what exactly transpired in both those games. But I think let's quickly take a look at the standings right now and get a better grip on how Clash Royale and the Masters League looks. So as we can see, Arpan Christian in the first position, followed by Beast and Saif in the third position. Now, Sushil Abhisha has 7 matches played. He's won 4 out of them. He's at 12 points. He's in the 4th position. He's cushy there. Now, the people who are
so now, listen, now let's talk about the 2 players in this, in the match that we just did. Like, we saw Mrinl. Brin's kind of dropped down to the 8th place because of that loss. He's won only 2 games out of the 5 that he's played. We bring him to only a total of 6. But look at Saif. He's doing fairly well. And he still has a few matches left. So he could actually match up the top player, which is Arpan, who's lost 1 game.
Indeed.
And as we spoke about Beast yesterday, Beast is kind of aiming for #1 spot also. So
yeah, he's got 0 matches lost so far.
He's not lost a single game, but he's only played 4. So
that gives him a lot more scope to achieve the first position.
So
actually.
Much more inspiration for him to kind of keep going.
Indeed.
Coming at and remember, at the end of the day, what matters is that you're in top 4. So the people like Sushil and Prashant and Mukul is where I think the competition is coming. Interesting thing is how Camille actually has not played a lot of his matches. He's only played 3, and look at Mehtab, he's only played 2 games.
Yeah.
So there are a few players who've not played all their games right now, and they still have that potential to make it.
True, but then again, there are certain surprises here. Let's put some focus on the last 4 players here. Tahir Devilstone Sharif has played 6 games. That's pretty much halfway there, and that's a place where he's ideally not supposed to be because he's one of the great players we've seen over the course of time. Jimit Bhatt, again, another person, like he ideally seeing his run in Clash Royale in ESL India Premiership last year also, he's like a guy who will be somewhere midway of the standing table, not like down under. Mehtab is a new player. I would not, considering that he's just played 2 games so far, I would not know much about him. But Mehudi, my concern is with Deepak Mehudi Mehta. He is a guy, if you remember, he was the guy who was a black horse at a point of time in ESL.
Yes, he was. He's having a devastating performance this time. And
I have zero idea how you managed to lose 5 games in a row.
Yeah, and we did get to cast maybe 1 or 2 of his games.
We did indeed.
We saw him not doing so well, but I'm pretty saddened by the games, the first 2 games today coming out of Mrinl today. So
yeah, definitely. Indeed. Maybe we do not know. There might be some problem or something.
Sure.
It's always...
We'll give him the benefit of doubt. Maybe we'll
definitely.
give him a call.
It's always great to give a benefit of doubt. He's a great player. Not that we hold anything against him for putting up a bad game. It's a sport at the end of the day. You have a good day.
Someone wins, someone loses.
Yeah, and it's all on your form. Maybe you're in form, maybe you're not. Maybe you are the Dhoni today, or maybe you'll just turn into Sir Ravindra Jadeja tomorrow. You never know. But what we do know is the fact that we have an excellent Counter-Strike Global Offensive game lined up for you guys after this short break. So do not, I'm telling you, I'm warning you, do not go. Actually, you can go to the loo to take a small break. But come back because we'll be right about back with some amazing Counter-Strike Global Offensive action. Remember, guys, this is the ESL India Premiership 2018 brought to you by Omen by HP, HyperX and Intel and presented to you by Northern Gaming and
ESL.
ESL. We'll see you after the break.
Turn around 3 times. Start shooting.
This is the first ever Omen X laptop for gamers that go to extremes. Gear up with the machine designed for total domination and engineered for gaming in stunning 4K. Equipped with the latest Intel Core processors, it gives you the power to be relentless. With a 17.3-inch diagonal screen and desktop-class graphics, you get maximum performance to be victorious anywhere. With multiple fans and large exhaust vents, heat is transferred away from critical components for dynamic overclocking. Ramp up boot times, game loading, and overall system responsiveness with optional RAID 0 SSD configurability. An RGB LED backlit mechanical keyboard lets you program each individually lit key to create customized key maps that switch seamlessly between games. With 2.5mm travel and in-key rollover, you can take out your competition with more accuracy and precision. Designed for extreme immersion, DTS Headphone X technology comes built in for surround sound experience that puts you right in the middle of the action. With the addition of a VR headset, gamers can step inside a completely immersive world for an elevated gaming experience. Single panel access to key components makes serviceability and upgrading easy, so you won't be sidelined or held back on your road to supremacy. It has a brushed aluminum finish on an armor-like chassis. A jet fighter-like construction with hidden lift hinges ensures you're always at the ready. And with striking lighting effects and see-through window to components, others will know too. Unleash your fiercest gameplay anywhere with the extreme performance of the new Omen X laptop.
Guys out. Decoy.
That was beast.
Game, record, and stream without compromise on Intel Core i7.
The ESL India Premiership 2018 has 3 seasons: summer, fall, and winter. The summer season takes place from April to June, while the fall season runs from July to September. Finally, the winter season takes place from October to December. Coming to tournament formats, each season is divided into 3 tiers: the professional tier, the Master League; the semi-professional tier, the Challenger Series; the Open tier, the Starter Cups. Moving on to the frequency, every season in the ESL India Premiership 2018 will see 1 Master League, 3 Challenger Series, and 3 Starter Cups. The Masters League now hosts 12 teams and players. Meanwhile, the Challenger Series has 8 contestants and follows a double elimination format. Finally, the Starter Cups are now limited to only 128 participants, so make sure you register for the Premiership now. Once you register for the Starter Cup 1, you'll have to fight your way to the top. At the end of the phase, you will get promoted to the Challenger Series 1. You should try and maintain your position in the Challenger Series 1, 2, and 3. But this is no easy task. At the end of every phase, the bottom 2 contestants are dropped out. They are replaced by the top teams from the Starter Cups. Those who succeed in the Challenger Series are rewarded with promotion to the Master League. The top 4 teams will proceed to play in the next season's Masters League. Meanwhile, the Master League runs uninterrupted until the end of the season. The 12 champions will constantly try to establish their dominance over the others. But at the end of a season, the bottom 4 teams are relegated to the Challenger Series, while the top 4 play at the land finale for the top prize. ESL India Premiership 2018 begins in April. The registrations are on, so make sure you sign up now.
Turn around 3 times. Start shooting.
This is the first ever Omen X laptop for gamers that go to extremes. Gear up with the machine designed for total domination and engineered for gaming in stunning 4K. Equipped with the latest Intel Core processors, it gives you the power to be relentless. With a 17.3-inch diagonal screen and desktop-class graphics, you get maximum performance to be victorious anywhere. With multiple fans and large exhaust vents, heat is transferred away from critical components for dynamic overclocking. Ramp up boot times, game loading, and overall system responsiveness with optional RAID 0 SSD configurability. An RGB LED backlit mechanical keyboard lets you program each individually lit key to create customized key maps that switch seamlessly between games. With 2.5mm travel and in-key rollover, you can take out your competition with more accuracy and precision. Designed for extreme immersion, DTS Headphone X technology comes built in for surround sound experience that puts you right in the middle of the action. With the addition of a VR headset, gamers can step inside a completely immersive world for an elevated gaming experience. Single-panel access to key components makes serviceability and upgrading easy, so you won't be sidelined or held back on your road to supremacy. It has a brushed aluminum finish on an armor-like chassis. A jet fighter-like construction with hidden lift hinges ensures you're always at the ready. And with striking lighting effects and see-through window to components, others will know too. Unleash your fiercest gameplay anywhere with the extreme performance of the new Omen X laptop.
That was beast.
Game, record, and stream without compromise on Intel Core i7.
Welcome back to the studio segment of the ESL India Premiership, ladies and gentlemen. This is the summer season of the Masters League going on right about now. And joining me right now is none other than Zara Angela Gonsalves.
How are you?
I'm good.
I'm doing great. I like how I keep coming in for the CSGO segments.
Yeah, you randomly just like metamorphosize into like the CS segment and then the Dota, which is good.
And my Dota gets cancelled.
Yeah, that also. But today, ladies and gentlemen, we have a very wonderful game lined up for you guys. We have an Entity Gaming. All the Samar Sethi fans and Sid Joshi fans have something to watch out for. It's an Entity Gaming versus Intencity Pune 5 game. So let's quickly, without wasting any further time, let's take a look at the Entity Gaming lineup. Alrighty then. Well, that's team Entity Gaming there. One of the most loved teams of the country, most recognized teams of the country. They play that well to be in this position. Angie, you have to add anything to that?
I mean, they are fantastic players, and yesterday one of their players also celebrated his birthday, so today could be the motivational, let's win this game for him kind of
Indeed, indeed. Today is apparently an auspicious day because I would like to take this opportunity to make a very small announcement before we head off to Intencity Pune 5 altogether. You must have heard this name on and off, Kunal K. Singh. Well, he is one of our chief producers, chief editors, and today is a very big day for him. Man's got himself gone ahead and got himself married. So this, Kunal K. Singh, if you're watching this or any of your family members watching this, I will take this upon myself to represent the entire Nordwind Gaming family, the ESL India family. Heartiest wishes and best of luck for your impending married life from the entire family here at Nordwind Gaming. May you have a beautiful married life ahead. So shout out to you, Kunal. We're missing you. Maybe after 10th May we'll see him. He'll be like, oh, shadi ho gaya, shadi ho gaya. He's like that. he's happy like that. But right now let's move on back to the game here. We have Intencity Pune 5. So let's quickly take a look at that. Well, that's Intencity Pune 5, and I like to say it, any Pune team, if they are in Pune, if they're based out of Pune, they're definitely Manjari boys for me. And that was a code word which only Punekaris, as we like to call ourselves, would know. But that's Intencity Pune 5, ladies and gentlemen. They are having a showdown against Entity Gaming today.
Yeah.
And this is going to be pretty much, how would I say, a David Goliath scene. I mean, I don't want to undermine Intencity Pune 5.
Well,
they seem like a nice bunch. But again, Entity is a behemoth when it comes to
I would just call them the underdogs, and they just got to be very careful going into this matchup. I think if they come up with the right map choice for themselves, they have worked hard for this game, I think they could put up a good performance. I mean, I know they're sitting 9th on the board as of now. They've taken 1 victory, 2 losses. They've been able to defeat War, but have taken losses against Invictus, which is all right. And SRA, again, who are doing fantastically well for themselves. So I'm hoping to see whether they can get a little more higher on this board.
Indeed. Considering the map pick veto is not up yet, so I can believe the fact that it's going to be Inferno. In fact, okay, wow. Okay, while I'm telling you that it's going to be Inferno, it actually is. So Cash, Nuke and Dust 2 got banned by Entity. Train, Mirage and Overpass got banned by Intencity. And as I predicted, it's going to be an Inferno game. Entity has ensured that this game either becomes an aim-based model for them or a strat-based. And both ways, they excel. Look at the veto here. They've ensured that they could force Overpass into either picking an Inferno or a Mirage, because both maps, if you realize, Mirage is something which Entity wouldn't mind playing. Not that they played that often, but as far as I'm understanding, they're pretty okay at Mirage, and Inferno is something they also excel at. So this is going to be kind of a crossroads there. They've pushed Intensity 5 into a corner. They've got them to pick up Inferno, and I think this game is going to be pretty much one-sided if Intensity Pune 5 doesn't pull up their socks and think strat-wise, because this is an entire, like I keep saying, like Adi keeps saying, this is a strat-based map. You gotta think twice before making any move there. You can't just like barrage into your positions. Like I said, not an aim-based map, unlike Mirage, all strat. In fact, banana controller, in this case, rather, if you realize the kind of banana controls I've been seeing, I think you should should go for like a good aparts control, try to gain leverage over the mid and see if you can like at least defend a site if you're like counter terrorists. So holding your position becomes all the more important when you look at the CT side. So I think playing CT Intensity has and should be in a better position, because they should be able to hold up against incoming onslaught from Entity, who will no doubt be out for blood.
And the good knowledge of the map is always in favor of Entity.
Indeed. I couldn't disagree more. In fact, let's quickly take a look at the map and get to know a little bit more about it.
Inferno. This map is not like any other traditional CSGO map. It does not revolve heavily around mid-control. The two most important areas of control are the apartments and banana. You lose control of either one of these areas and you're going to have a bad time.
Alright, so that's the Inferno map there for all our new viewers, so that they can understand how the map dynamics work. And we've clearly mentioned the two choke points, the two key points which you need to establish control on. The banana if you want to fake a rotation, and then the aparts if you want to make a good stand, hold up and defend a bomb site. I think that should be a good place for Intensity Pune 5 to think about. But right now we'll head over to our casters, Aditya Adisha and Archisman Fed Pradhan, who will be casting this game. So over to you, gentlemen.
Thank you, Vagish and Angie. Yes, it is time for another Inferno. The 13th Inferno in 22 days. Well, 23 days. I'm Adi, and I'm joined by Fet, and we're going to cast this game for you.
Wow, smooth. Smooth as your bald pate, Adi, that intro. Thank you very much. And yes, guys, another day, another Inferno. But this is not like any other Inferno. This is going to be played between Intensity Pune 5 and Entity Gaming. And there's a little bit of history here. Intensity Pune 5 beat out Entity Gaming in the quarterfinals of the Gods of Gaming tournament. And well, I think that Entity might be in this one for a little bit of payback. What do you say, Adi? If you were Entity and you'd lost to a less storied and lesser known team, would you take it lightly on your next meeting, or would you just go all guns blazing and say like, "Aaj to dikha dete hain, khatam."
Yeah, I agree. Like I would be telling my lads to beat them like single digit, like basically give them the beatdown of their lifetime, right? During the test, you were talking about shivs and shanks and prison yard fights. That's exactly what you want right now. You want a brutal beatdown by Entity Gaming onto Pune 5 if you are, since you've been beaten by them. But now the pistol round is live. Entity Gaming starting off on the T side because they lost the knife round. Intensity with the standard setup, but they do have 4 players towards the A bomb side. It is some sort of a read coming out by them.
Yeah, could be an anti-strat because again, Entity is supposed to be on paper the best team in the country, so everyone would be looking towards them to, see what they're up to. And it's going to be a straight up mid play. Reaper, oh ho ho, nice one tap. Saif bites the dust, but the trade, it's a bit too slow to come in. And Reaper is just reaping heads left, right, and center. Finally, Amaterasu puts him to sleep. But I think it is too little, too late at this point. 4v2. This is looking highly unlikely. Actually, it's a 1.5v2 because Amaterasu is on 18 HP. He's barely alive at this point. That's a horrible smoke, and Caramel will be abusing it maliciously. Does get the spot in, but there's Never Give Up, and he's gonna rip Hellranger's face clean off Amaterasu. Left all alone, and Caramel's gonna happily oblige. And Reaper with that glorious 3k, instrumental in securing Intensity Pune 5, the pistol round. Looks like Amaterasu's hangover hasn't passed just as of yet.
Yes, it was his birthday yesterday, and that's another reason for Entity to actually make sure they win this game as a gift to Amaterasu. And by the way, this is the second time I've seen Entity do the exact same strat on the pistol round. I think they really need to work on their pistol rounds, because like I've said in a couple of the earlier casts, the pistol rounds are really important. They generally give you 6 rounds if you win both the pistols.
Yeah, and that is a bit curious, right? Because Hellranger's pistols from last year were phenomenal. Like Eternal Esports, they were notorious at securing those exact 6 rounds. But off late, in this season particularly, they've looked a bit off color. Again, it's that vanilla A hit. No one checking towards arches and kind of get away scot-free, but somehow it's still a 3v3. Saif and Mavis, they're holding on to dear life by a thread. And Amaterasu is going to go hunting for Mavis. Down he goes, but he does take some damage. It's a 3v2. But the CTs do have the weapons advantage. Amaterasu hightailing it towards a better hiding position. Will he be able to make his way into pit? Yes, he will. This is the double pit setup. A decent post-plant scenario. Hellranger playing from within the site.
Yeah, this is the positions you want to play actually. And Sai, because he's low, just exposing his head, inviting that headshot, which is not forthcoming as of now. Reaper really whipping the spray, but in the meanwhile, Sai does take down Never Give Up as well, and Reaper is now hightailing it out of there. Tail between his legs, he's like, nah fam, I don't want any of this. I'm gonna save this M4 and come back in the next round. But yeah, we see Entity picking up a forced buy, and that's... It's par for the course nowadays, isn't it? It's very rare. I think it's only SRA who consistently wins their anti-ecos.
Yeah, I who'd have thunk it, basically. Because right now it's par for the course for me to expect the round after the pistol loss to go to the team that's actually force buying, rather than the team with the rifles and the guns. And we do see a force buy coming out from Intensity Pune 5. Again, that is the standard, play. But this is curious. Never Give Up with the FAMAS and no armor. You'd expect, the FAMAS to be handed over to RSN, because he does have the armor.
Or even Caramel. Like Caramel could use. I mean, Never Give Up could use the scout. Yeah. Without armor at least. And but anyway, I mean, it's the start of the game, right? The first 4 or 5 rounds are always that economic battle, and especially more so on Inferno, because the CT economy is really something you need to get going. And on the flip side, Entity really needs to destroy that CT economy right in the start and keep them honest, because that's the only way you get a lot of rounds on the T side.
Yeah, and that's the thing with the new Inferno. Earlier, Inferno used to be one of the most CT-sided maps in the game, but ever since the rework, it's more or less an economy-sided game. Whichever team keeps the other team's economy under wraps and in check, they'll come out on top of the half, be it the T side or the CT side. Yes, that's a lot harder to do on the CT side, is to keep that T economy in check, but it is doable and it is possible. And that is what both teams are looking to do early game, is to assert that economic dominance. Reaper, though, with the M4, he's completely blinded the opposition, but everyone is dabbing. That is why, ladies and gentlemen, dabbing is injurious to health, as Mazel finds out the hard way.
I love that Molotov, by the way, at the boost position. This is the first time I've seen an Indian team use that. I've seen it a couple of times in the international, scene, but it's great to see that Entity is learning from the best. And that pop flash was also amazing. And RSN, he's taken out of the equation. And Mavis, though, comes back with 2 frags. Does turn it into a 1v2, but he doesn't have any HP to work with. And Sai will finish him off as he tries to get to the C4. And Entity does pick up the anti-force buy. And now Intencity Pune 5 will have to double eco almost, because they're going to be broke.
I mean, let me just check. I think it's going to be the third round loss bonus coming in. So this has to be a hard eco. They can go for a buy next round. I mean, they will go for a buy next round, but it's going to be very light on utility.
But they shouldn't go for that buy, is what I'm saying, because it's $1,900 on Caramel and RSN.
Adi, we know better. We've all attended the Mongol school of economics by this point. What is eco? There is no eco. There is only force.
Marzel racking up that money, as you like to call it, with the trust fund gun. And Marzel, being the true trust fund baby right now, he's just rushing in with that Mac 10. He's about to get a third frag. He does pick that up. And Mavis is just gonna hide. He's like, I don't want to die to that Mac 10 as well. And yeah, he's just let Marzel run scot-free. And in the meanwhile, Reaper is also being taken down by a Mac 10 on Hellranger. So that's a lot of money being farmed by Entity.
Well, Marzel was just channeling his inner Nicolas Cage from Face Off. He was literally just running around the map, just ripping the skin off the faces of the CTs. And there we go. 4 headshots for Marzel. That is money in the bank. And I think he's going to continue with the Mac 10. I think he's feeling it. No, there we go. It's only going to be Hellranger who's continuing with the P shooter.
Marzel has.
Oh my god. This horse trading at spawn, I tell you.
If I was Marzel right now, I would buy it. Yeah, there we go. I was just about to say that. I would buy a pistol at least, because in the long range, that Mac 10 isn't going to help that much. But it is the buy coming in by Intencity. They have an AWP on Caramel as well, but he has next to no utility. 3 guys with 0 utility on them. I'm not going to count the decoy as utility. And yeah, I don't like this buy, because now they're going to have to equal the next round if they lose this as well. But I would rather have them have a full buy and then, you know, bring that to the defense. But of course, they could shut me up by winning this round.
You know, the thing is, most Indian teams that play CT side Inferno play such a passive setup towards the A and the B bomb site that I don't think they realize how important utility is whilst trying to hold something like this. Look at that beautiful execute coming in towards the A bomb site. It's just raining smokes, but RSN staying right ahead of it. That's the perfect counter to this kind of setup play, and to the opening frags going the way of Intencity Pune 5. Entity just capitulate. They had the smokes, but they weren't expecting the fact that it was a stacked A bomb site and everyone's just turtled up inside the sites. Nobody's taking fights, nobody's peeking the aggressive angles, and Entity just get cut down as they peek in one by one. A bit lackluster there, that A hit, but Amaterasu, oh well, he's dead. That's that perfect round coming out from Intencity Pune 5.
Yep, and that's exactly what the doctor ordered for the CTs, because you want to build up that economy now, and now you're going to see all the utility coming up. And Intencity Pune 5 right now should, well, they should start, they should probably go aggressive this round is what I was going to say, and sort of try to shut down Entity, because this is Entity's last buy as well. They are going to be eco after this for a round if they lose this. So you wanna assert some dominance basically, but it doesn't look like they're going to do that. Smoking off mid really early, and they're not even taking banana control.
You know, when you said assert some dominance, I just remembered what Formless used to tell me while playing CS. He's like, the only way to assert dominance is to pee on them. So I think that's what Intencity are looking to do. They just completely humiliate their opposition and just show them that you might be considered the best on paper, but guys, we're no one to be trifled with. And again, it's a very passive setup. The smokes and the flashes are raining in, but neither team looking to commit just yet. Not that much of damage has come out either way. Intencity Pune 5, all full health across the board, while a little bit of tickle damage gone on to Hellranger, Amaterasu, and Falcon.
And yeah, Entity Gaming has got their map control now. This time they're not going for that straight up execute that, you know, basically screwed them in the earlier round. It looks like even though they have the map control, they are going to go eventually and execute upon B. And Marzel is gonna try to sneak in, right? This is the kind of play where the one player sneaks in from mid to left, but nope, that's not the case. Marzel does fall back, and in the meanwhile, the B execute does come out with the counter grenades coming out by the counter terrorists as well. And Reaper sniffing his spray, but in fact, he does still get Baba. Falcon, that is. And it is a 4v4. The trade has come in, and never give up. Ooh, the smoke just in time, just enough time for Amaterasu to make his way to the bomb site, and he's going to get the bomb down, and it's a 4v4 retake.
But it's the weirdest thing. The plant is nowhere near where Marzel is playing from right now. Both Sai and Marzel playing from banana. Plant is not for them. Amaterasu playing an offish angle, but they do have a flash and a smoke to aid in the retake, and that's just what's gonna happen. With Sai, it's not planted for him. The clock's ticking away, and Sai, he's been marked like a hawk by Caramel, and he's just gonna get put down. And Intencity Pune 5, they look dangerous. They look like they're here to play some Counter-Strike. And they're just gonna go.
They're trying to prove that the one time they did beat Entity is not just a fluke. They're trying to repeat that as well. And I like that retake, by the way. It wasn't... it was not as clean as anyone would like, but, you know, a 4v4 retake on the B bomb side is nothing to scoff at. It's actually a very difficult bomb site to retake. So props to Intencity Pune 5 for picking it up. And now, like I said, Entity Gaming on the eco. It is a force buy, of course, because why not?
Yeah, I mean, I don't question these things anymore, Adi. I've watched enough Indian CS to understand that there is no questioning the force buy meta. But Mavis, I mean, he does, you know, partake in the ultimate sacrifice for the trade to come in. But in the meantime, Amaterasu has found Reaper towards Banana. So the B bomb site is going to fall squarely on the shoulders of Never Give Up. And him and Reaper have been quite good on the B bomb site hold so far. Reaper last round doing a lot of damage along with getting that kill. That Molotov is going to allow Never Give Up to rotate towards a more favorable position. And unfortunately, Entity just have one flashbang to take this site. And two players have already rotated in. There's that flashbang. And this is just going to be a shooting gallery for Never Give Up. Okay, he dead. He dead. But, yeah,
RSN. Yeah, he's there for the trade on to Sai. And now Hellranger's stuck in a 1v2 situation, and he's gonna hightail it out to the A-bomb side, which is actually a very good idea, but nope, he's overthinking it. He's turning around again, he's going to the B-bomb side, he's just gonna wait. Gonna probably hope for one player of Intencity Pune 5 to rotate to the A-bomb side, and then he's gonna go for the plant. But for some reason, Pune 5, they actually don't know that he had gotten out of the bomb site, right? And they are gonna, oh, it's the timing. Hellranger thinks the bomb site is clear, and he's gonna run in straight into Caramel after taking down RSN. And Caramel is just like, all right, I'll take that. Not a problem at all. And it's 4-3 to Entity. But that round was a lot closer than it should have been. Only Caramel surviving on Intensity. And now Entity Gaming can buy. And in fact, if they do win this round, they can reset Intensity, because you can see their money. It's basically non-existent, even though they've won 3 rounds in a row.
This is again still getting dicey. Like you said, the money is not that good. It can swing either way from this point onwards. And Entity's T side, it's far from impressive, to be honest. I don't think they're being able to understand the setup that Intencity have going for them. Finally, Hellranger getting that opening pick. The man advantage, but Never Give Up just around the corner, and no one for the trade. Hellranger unnecessarily overextending for no rhyme or reason. He'd gotten the kill, he'd gotten the man advantage. What's the need for that peak there? You can just fall back, hold that angle in fact, and punish the guy whom you know may just come for the trade at any second now.
And that too, Never Give Up came in without a flashbang as well. So it was kind of telegraphed as well. It should have been an easy frag, but they do have apartments control and banana control. And a 4v4 generally favors the terrorist side anyway. But Intencity Pune 5 right now are banking on the A-bomb side. They have 3 players towards the A-bomb side. Although Caramel is in a sort of quick rotation position. And Entity Gaming going again to that B site for a B execute, because they only have 2 smokes and 1 flashbang and 1 Molotov. That's all the utility they had, and it's completely expended. And Never Give Up. He is flash, but he does get 2 frags anyway. Finally, the trade coming in by Amaterasu. That shouldn't be happening there. Giving 2 lives away for 1 is a misplay coming in by Entity. But the bomb does come down, and the retake is going to come in. This time, it's a 3v2 retake, and this one is going to be difficult for Entity to hold off, because they have absolutely no utility. And that too, Amaterasu has been pushed out of their position with a brilliantly placed Molotov as well. And there you go, the retake comes in by Intencity Pune 5, who are looking stronger and stronger as the game goes on.
Yeah, they look like a force to be reckoned with. And what was curious there was the fact that Never Give Up has been, or at least either Reaper or Never Give Up have been playing that same position by Fountain almost every time that B. Why aren't Entity actually coming around the corner pre-firing that position? It's a pretty OP spot in my opinion. You barely just, you can't really tell the model apart, the CT model apart from the Fountain, especially if you're playing at the mud resolution that most pros like to play at. I like to call it mud resolution because it's what, 4:3 stretched some god-awful 2004 monitor resolution. I mean, yeah, the hitbox is, like, the models appear bigger, but they also appear like, they've just come out of a mud pit in Holi.
Yeah, I agree. Even I like to play at a full native resolution just because the game looks a little bit prettier.
Yeah.
But, well, now Entity Gaming has force bought into this round. 2 AKs, two SMGs, and 1 MAC-10. Well, 3 SMGs, but yeah, I'm going to segregate the MAC-10 because it's basically useless against armored opponents. Lots of flashes coming in with Sai jumping out, and that's suspect. Marzel, long-range MAC-10, gets Caramel, and he's going to also pick up the AK. In the meanwhile, RSN is traded out by Falcon, and now it's down to a 2v3 situation. And Intencity Pune 5 know where both the players are. And Mavis does get dinked through the wall. Marzel desperately trying to get that frag onto Mavis. He has no utility to flush him out. Oh, the spam coming in by Falcon. Falcon with a great shot onto Reaper. And suddenly, the A-bomb site is Entity Gaming's, and the bomb plant is going to come in. Marzel doesn't need to peek at all, but he's going to peek anyway, and he's going to kill Never Give Up with that peek.
Marzel just doing Marzel things that just, like, single-handedly turning that round. But I think credit where credit is due. Falcon's spam kill and then the follow-up onto the guy playing Moto, they were essential in turning the tides in favor of Entity Gaming that previous round. And Intencity Pune 5, in phenomenal effort by Mavis to hold on to the A bomb site for as long as he did. But they let those initial opening frags come in a bit too cheaply, and allowing Marzel to get that long-range MAC-10 kill never should have happened. Never ever should have happened.
MAC-10 versus AWP, in fact. Like, you don't see that very often. You don't ever see that generally, in fact. Like a MAC-10 winning over an AWP. But also, like I mentioned earlier now, Intencity Pune 5 are reset. Even though they won 4 rounds in a row prior to this one, they have to eco this round, and that pop flash is perfect for Hellranger, continuing the auto. RSN running out of ammo in that CZ. That is the hazard of the CZ. And Caramel though has picked up 2 frags. He has picked up Marzel's MAC-10, gets a frag onto Sai as well, and now he's picked up the AK, and he's probably going to try to save that because his team is basically broke.
Pretty much. And it was surprising that Caramel actually managed to land the kill on a fully armored 100 HP Sai, the MAC-10, and he doesn't even have Kevlar.
Yep.
It's one of the likeliest things that you expect to see in a game of professional Counter-Strike, to be very honest.
And Caramel had bought a Deagle as well, by the way, and a kit. So he definitely needs to save that because kind of significant, the money on him right now with that AK and the Deagle and the kit. And it does look like he is going to be able to save it because for some reason Hellranger has not been able to locate Caramel, although he is sitting exactly at the scene of the crime where he killed 2 of his teammates. And now...
I mean, it's like they say, right? The closer you are to trouble, the farther away you are from danger. I mean, Sai would have said, "Bhai, oh, boiler hai, boiler." And Hellranger naturally would have assumed that, okay, he's taken the AK and then, scurried off to T-spawn or somewhere farther away from the scene of the crime. But Caramel, he played it smart. He's like, nah, I'ma just stick here. I'ma just stay here, roll the dice and see what happens.
Yep. And Intencity Pune 5 rolling the dice now as well with the Force Spy. They have a decent amount of utility, but only 2 rifles on the board and a FAMAS and an SMG and an AWP as well on Caramel because he had a metric ton of money going into this. And yes, I specifically said 2 rifles and a FAMAS because I do not count the FAMAS as a rifle. It's sitting in its own category of a crap gun. and, and Reaper. I like that smoke, by the way, coming out by Reaper. It's the perfect positioning. No gaps on the left or the right side. So it's a good thing that they've learned these things as well. We've seen actually quite a few good uses of utility coming out by both teams. That smoke by Reaper, the Molotov for this boost position that Never Give Up is next to by Entity. And it does look like Entity is going to go in for the full B execute. Lots of Molotovs are going to come in. The counter Molotov is coming in by Never Give Up as well. And the execute has come in, and Reaper things out wide. And he does pay dearly for it. He does get a frag, but he does get traded. Caramel does get one as well. Hellranger with the kill on to Never Give Up. And now it is a 3v3 retake again. And ooh, Caramel, Saif with a massive misplay there, not realizing that the smoke has run out. It is finally re-smoked by Mrinl, but it's a bit too late. 3v2 now. Mrinl and Hellranger not in the best of spots.
I'm not a big fan of this post plant.
Mrinl does take out RSN, and Hellranger somehow manages to reposition, but he is taken out by the op, and Mavis does take out Mrinl as well, and all of a sudden the retake is successful. The gamble for Intencity Pune 5 with that force buy has paid off, and now Entity, well, they can buy actually.
But these rounds, I mean, the thing is, Entity are managing to put a stopper on the CT economy, but they're not able to break that final glass ceiling. They're not being able to hold on in the post-plant scenarios. And that frankly comes down to the very fast rotations that we're seeing from Intencity Pune 5. Apart from that one round on the A bomb site where Intencity players took donkey's years to finally rotate, they've been on point. The calls for rotations from either site have been meticulous, and the rotations have also been double time. They haven't dilly-dallied. They haven't, thought about, maybe it's a fake, maybe they're coming here. No, they just know straight up. All right, if it's going to be raining utility, that's where Entity are coming. Let's just go. Maybe that's something that Entity could actually try and use to their advantage, to try and sell a fake or even a double fake. You don't need to throw in everything along with the kitchen sink towards one site and for a fake. You can actually hold on to utility and try different things. And so far Entity's play on this T side has been very one-dimensional in my opinion, and they need to spice things up a little bit. Come on guys, you're Indians, embrace that curry power, show us some spice for God's sake. Like, not this bland one-dimensional Counter-Strike.
For some reason Mrinl is on a Mac 10. I don't know why he prefers that to maybe a UMP or something. At least the UMP gives you a little more range. But anyway, it is the buy coming in by Entity. They have a lot of utility as well. But this is a Hail Mary buy, because if they lose this, they're out of the game. They might actually, not the game, but they are going to lose the half if they do lose this round, because they will be forced to eco in the next round. But it's the same thing for Intencity Pune 5 as well. Even their money has not been good at all. The full A execute coming in by Entity, and now flashbang was perfectly placed, but Mav is somehow still taking out Mrinl. And that apartment's position, that apartment's play for Mrinl hasn't really been working out. It has worked out once, but most of the other times it has been well defended by Intencity. But the fake has been sold pretty well, but Never Give Up is rotating back from Speedway. And in fact, Caramel is coming in as well now, and the call has come in. But Reaper locking down the bomb site right now with the boost position, not expected by Entity. And all of a sudden, it's all over. It's just Falcon, and he's dead as well. Everyone's dead, Fed. What happened? Everyone's dead. And that too at the same position. Like, there was a pile of 4 bodies at the exact same position.
Well, see, this is what happened. I think it's high time that Reaper just add a Grim in front of his name, because that's what he is channeling. And Caramel, he has been going nuts with the AWP. He is banging Entity into the next map with that AWP. And Entity have no answer. Like, they just tried a fake. They just tried to add some spice, some garam masala to their plays, and Intencity were like, not having any of that, fam. Here, take some curd. Badhazmi dur karo and just take it and go. You're not winning today. And RSN, he's caught in a very precarious position. Mavis throws down at Molotov, but maybe a little too late. He's almost lands the spray down, but there's Caramel again with that op of his. Gets the kill on a Mrinl, but gets caught out as well. Reaper, though, It's a 2v2. Weapons advantage still with the CTs. That Molotov is going to bother Hellranger slightly. But Amaterasu, he needs to hide. He is not looking in the best of shapes. But he's going to... Yeah, he's going to channel Bogdan's Law. And gets the first kill onto Reaper. And now it's Never Give Up in a 1v2. Hellranger playing Motorbox. I think he spotted Never Give Up. It's not the best of smokes, but Never Give Up. As true to his name. Oh, he's dead. Okay, cool.
But at least he did not give up.
Yeah.
But Entity, out of nowhere, a full eco round, by the way, just maybe 1 P250 and a CZ, and 2 flashbangs and a dream, and that dream was successful. The dream came true, rather, and Entity does win a round absolutely out of thin air. And now, Intencity Pune 5 have to force buy into this because they desperately want to win this half. And they have force bot. They have barely any utility. 2 M4s, a FAMAS, an SMG, and an AWP. Just three smokes, 4 flashbangs. That isn't enough. That isn't enough to defend Entity Gaming's attacks onto the bomb site.
I mean, I think so far all you need is Reaper on one side and Caramel on the other. Like, that's all the Intensity have needed. Look at this. Falcon. Oh, Mazel needs to be careful. Caramel, he's wise to Mazel's play. The timing, legs him, runs back. He's gotten the information and leaves Mazel in with 23 health. He's going to be kicking himself.
Mazel rattling off a few shots through the smoke. No joy though for him yet. And again, Entity is just poking and prodding and trying anyway. But I really think they should do what they did in the pistol round, which is basically stick together and rush a bomb site, because the trades have been working for them. While smoke comes in, Caramel has been flashed out of position as well, and it is a B split coming up, but Caramel is aware, takes down Falcon, and Caramel has just been going god mode, but Sai does finally put him down, and that was an important frag. And Reaper jumping out, but it's denied by Matarasu. Hellranger getting up on the blue barrels and taking down Never Give Up as well, and now his team is going to actually have to give up on this round and save these rifles because they have absolutely no money. And yeah, RSN picking up an M4, upgrading that FAMAS to a better rifle. And yeah, it does look like Entity actually wants to hunt as well because they are aware of how low the money will be. Marzel spotted out by RSN, but no joy. Marzel doesn't want to peek either because he's really low.
It's a very standoffish situation. Amaterasu spots out Mavis. They're trapped in the A bomb side. Amaterasu trying to get that first kill. Gets it, but Mavis, oh, well, Sai in with the trade. A lot of economic damage being dished out both ways, actually. It ends up a lot better for Entity Gaming, and somehow they're going to come out on top of this first half, because at least they should, because it's going to be a pistol buy coming out from Intencity Pune 5, and realistically, they should not be winning this, at least not on the CT side, going up against AKs and M4 and the AWP and the full kitty of nades. Technically, this should be Entity Gaming's round, but we've seen the unimaginable happen time and time again, and right now I take nothing for granted, regardless of the buys coming out. Going to be seeing some aggression up Banana from Intencity Pune 5 early round. And so far, Entity Gaming, they're playing it slow, they're playing it safe, they're trying to get map control. Entity, one of the few teams on the T side that actually go for map control and use their utility to their advantage. Yesterday, if you were watching Brutality versus Invictus, like there was a round where Invictus went into the B bomb site just with all nades still intact, and it's going to be an A hit, and all 5 players are towards this bomb site and Never Give Up, using that CZ to great effect. And Caramel pops out around the corner. This guy has been just such a god. But Sai, last player left alive. Everybody's so low. Sai gets the kill on Mavis. Gonna pop flash his way out. Gonna get the AK-47. Gets one. Can he get the last kill? No! Just shy. And like I said, nothing surprises me anymore in Indian CS. Intencity Pune 5 with nothing but pistols, armor, and the UMP. Win that round. Pull it out of the hat like a magician pulling a bunny out of thin air. That was glorious and gorgeous and messy all at the same time. My God, what a round.
Intensity Pune 5 now, taking a page out of Hellranger's strat book and calling for a timeout in the pistol round. I like this because the pistol round is really important for them right now because they have lost. Well, they have won the first pistol, but they did lose 3 rounds off the back of that after Entity won the force buy. And now they really need to pick up this pistol again and Intensity, and then convert the force buys after that, the anti-force buys. So the timeout has expired, and now we can get into the second half of this game, which this game actually has been teetering on the edge. I mean, you have no idea which way it's gone because it has been so close, so back and forth. Every team has had its own couple of rounds together, and then as they've been replied to by a couple of rounds from the other team as well. And Entity Gaming though, 7 rounds on the T side, I think they should be happy with that.
One thing though, Amaterasu, he's supposed to be hung over, has a terrible headache, all that stuff, but again, he's carrying his team. Mr. Consistency, as always. Marzel and Fall, oh my god, both of them left, like, Marzel and Amaterasu. They're practically dead men walking at this point. And still, it's gonna be a B hit. Sai being boosted up on the pistol round. This is not something you see every day. And maybe something, and Hellranger baiting for Sai, but Sai needs to be careful. He's gonna have a whole swath of players moving his way, and he shows his hand a little prematurely. He's gonna get pre-fired and shot through the smoke. Good night, sweet prince. You're dead. Stay that way. Is what Intensity Pune 5 are probably muttering under their breath.
If I was Marzel and Amaterasu and Hellranger right now, I would just save that armor. Because they clearly have 100 armor because they've all been shot in the head once. There is no point. There is no way you're retaking this. This is basically a 1v5 retake. And there you go. They are falling back from this. And it's a good call, actually, because actually Marzel, actually all of them have, except for Hellranger, have taken out... What? Amaterasu.
There's the alcohol we were talking about right there. Amaterasu. Okay then. That happened.
He's a little pissed off with Hellranger, clearly. He's like, why did you call... I don't know. Why did you tell us to take picks at mid? Marzel taking out Amaterasu now. What the hell is going on? What? What? I am speechless. 2 players who had armor killed in the... I'm just gonna ignore that. But I think it's best we just ignore that because I'm completely speechless. But now, Entity Gaming is not going to force buy. Marzel has bought a P250 because he did have armor saved from the first round. And Intensity Pune 5, 4 SMGs and 1 Galil and a lot of utility. I like this buy. It's sort of an entity-like buy, a lot of utility so that you execute.
Wait, what?
How has he found himself here?
What the hell? What the heck? What? Okay then. Never give up. Just played Mario with Sai. He just goomba'd his ass all the way to hell. Like, just die.
I have no idea what's happening. I'm pretty sure Entity is a little bit tilted right now because of those 2 team frags coming in. But anyway, Marzel is going to be swarmed upon. He does have a P250, but doesn't have a dream. 3 players are going to swarm on him and take him out. Hellranger, in the meanwhile, has found a frag onto Reaper at the B bomb site, but he is at the wrong bomb site. And he's just going to try to save that... that's
so confused. I've never seen Hell so confused.
That he's going to try to save that P250 and the kit. And I think Entity is just going to bow out of a couple of rounds and then just going to come back with a full buy. They're going to reset and they're going to forget about those team kills coming in. And Hellranger is actually going to be hunted down right now. Never give up, not giving up on the hunt, finishing him off. And Entity Gaming has to go in for a double eco, of course, because they did lose the first round. But I like that they didn't force buy into the earlier round because that leaves, like, round number 19 is going to be a full buy by Entity. They're going to have the ops out. They're going to have a lot of utility. So it's a good thing. It's you rather fight with a complete arsenal instead of, you know, a FAMAS.
Thank God. Thank God. But what I'm interested in seeing this round is the nade stack. Who is going to fall prey to it? And, well, okay. Wow, so much hype. So little is the result. RSN down to 68 points of health. And the swing's going to come in. Entity more than happy to just give up the B bomb side altogether and swing towards A. Caramel trying to channel his inner Marzel, but he's not going to have much luck. And Reaper walking into Death's open arms. Marzel needs to be careful. There's a player right behind him, and Mavis puts a couple in the back of his head. Down he goes. But it's a 3v3. I was not expecting this, Adi, to turn into a 3v3 this quickly.
Yep, it just goes to show that Entity Gaming has some good crossfires, right? And I mean, they had 4 players over there as well, so never give up though. Has taken out Falcon at middle, and Amaterasu is not going to shoot Hellranger, not this time. And he's actually going to try to save this Mac 10, which is curious. I would try to go and hunt, honestly.
I mean, yeah, there's no point saving a Mac 10 when you know there's a buy coming up. Might as well try and set up for some exits and get those extra $600, you know, for each kill in the bank. Every dollar counts on the CT side. And if I were Amaterasu, I'd be playing at half wall, trying to catch a couple of players as they moved out of the bomb site.
Yep, and Intencity Pune 5, they're not even going for the hunt. They're just sitting in the B bomb site. They don't want to die to those SMGs as well. I'm surprised that at least RSN should be on the hunt, and he is on the hunt now. He is going to see respawn, but both the T's waiting, both the CTs rather, waiting at T-spawn. Amaterasu does get a kill onto Mavis, but it does look like Never Give Up is going to take down Amaterasu because of the weapons advantage. But not bad. Amaterasu did get $600 from that single kill, which is going to help his team out.
Yeah, exactly.
And there you go. He can buy them all. He can buy an incendiary due to that kill.
And that is going to go a long way. In fact, the fact that Entity was so smart with their money management after losing that pistol, not really forcing it up, just playing the conservative game, ensuring that they have all the utility under the sun to throw at the opponents, you know, they're actually going to have a half decent chance of holding Intencity Pune off just because of the utility they would have had. Like, if Intencity Pune 5 think that they're going to go in for a fast play, they've got another thing coming. They need to be wary of the fact that Entity did not buy a single round in those 2 eco rounds, quote unquote. So I'm a little interested to see if Intencity Pune 5 will be aware of that. RSN sticking with that Mac 10 I really like, because Hellranger and Sai both without any head armor, so that can actually prove to be a very deadly weapon if wielded properly and effectively.
But yeah, Intencity Pune 5 now has a 4-round advantage as well, and they have picked up those, you know, the anti-force buys, the anti-ecos as well after winning the pistol. But they're running through the Molotov straight into Marzel. They tried to, they tried a B rush after taking a timeout. I don't understand that.
No, I just feel like Nostradamus right now, because I effing called it. Like I said, if they try a fast play right now, they've got another thing coming. Running through a Molotov, running into a hail of bullets, and then having the brightest of ideas of catching them with your face. Not the smartest.
Literally ran into the waiting arms of Marzel, and all of a sudden, it's a 5v3 for Entity, and now Entity can try at least to get back into this game, because they are in a winnable position in this round, but we've seen other things happen, of course. And anyway, Mavis carefully trying to clear out the apartments, and Entity Gaming has actually given up control of almost everything, and it's a good play, to be honest, because they do have the man advantage. All they need to do is consolidate and defend on the bomb sites. And Intencity Pune 5, they're going to finally set up for sort of a smoke execute onto the A bomb site.
Wow, 2 smokes in the same position. That's a, you know, breakdown of communication, if there ever was one. Falcon watching the door. Sai needs to be careful. He's going to eat that flashbang square with his face, but he's going to get the kill on a Caramel. 1 player staying alive, and Sai, for style points, just for style points, is going to shoot Mavis through the edge of that wall and put him to rest. Only 1 casualty that round. That is very important. Entity Gaming can now consolidate their economy and try and eke out another... Oh no, they won't be able to. Their money is still piss poor, because they're going to have to rebuy all their utility. Game still hangs on a very, very fine thread. It's still favoring Intencity Pune 5, but if Entity can get it going and string a few rounds together, then it's going to be a whole different story.
Sai going for the mid shot, but getting greeted by a flashbang instead. It's going to smoke off mid, fall back, and reposition. And Intencity Pune 5 now have slowed down. They're going for the map control. which you kind of need on Inferno. And I don't like this by Entity, by the way. They did play a little aggressive in the earlier round when Mars was getting 2 frags at Banana, and now they're just playing completely defensive. 2 at the CD spawn for B. They're not even 1 in the B bomb site at this point, and they have no control of apartments. They have no control of Banana, and Intencity Pune 5 now can do whatever they like.
And the thing about this setup towards the B bomb site is that there's no crossfire potential. You get smoked out. Yes, Sai is there and Hell is baiting for Sai, but the flower bed is one of the most commonly pre-fired spots in the game. I rarely see players getting like a decent number of kills playing that position the first time around, let alone the second. Because bear in mind, this was the same exact setup towards the B bomb site that they went for in the pistol round, and we all know how that turned out.
And anyway, now the A execute has come in by Intencity. They have taken mid control. And Entity has replied by a lot of grenades of their own. Amaterasu whiffing his spray, not able to take down any players, although he does do a lot of damage to Caramel and Never Give Up. And now Falcon completely flashed off. He still manages to get a frag onto RSN, but the bomb site has been overrun by terrorists. Never Give Up coming in with 2 great entry frags onto the A bomb site. And now that leaves Marzel completely alone, does get the dink onto Reaper, but Reaper is going to take advantage of the AK and rip Marzel's head clean off. And now Entity Gaming, they're on the edge of going out of this game and losing to Intencity Pune 5 twice in the year.
Within the space of a couple of months.
Yep.
This is going to be a real feather in the hat of Intencity Pune 5 triumphing over Entity. And you know what? And it is worth bragging about, because Entity, they are a salaried team. They have a coach, they have a boot camp, they have everything that Indian gamers have been crying out for. Like, hame do and we'll prove it to you, right? That's not, I don't necessarily think that's how it should work. You first prove your mettle and then you get the goods. But these guys have been provided all the amenities under the sun to, at least become the best in the country. And that means beating everybody decisively. Sai, hearing the reload, he knows there's someone towards the balcony room. Gonna dodge that flash, and he's gonna go swinging in. A little too over-ambitious. Caramel easily able to put him down, but Amaterasu just walks into that spray. I feel bad for him right now. That was just unfortunate.
And when I saw the video, I mean, this is an eco round, by the way, and Entity Gaming doesn't really have a chance in this. So, looking at the veto, right, when the veto was done, I was really suspect about this pick of Inferno as well. They gave the option of Inferno or Mirage to Pune 5, and I just find that completely mind-boggling, because Entity has not really been playing really well on Inferno, and Mirage used to be their second ban. And in fact, in the start of the year, Hellranger told me that their permaban is Mirage, but now it looks like they've changed their permaban to Cash, and they're comfortable on Mirage again. But clearly, they should have gone for much like an outlier map, to be honest. Even a Dust 2, to be honest, would be better.
Yeah,
than Inferno.
What the funny thing is, so I was talking to Equitas, their coach, and he was like, Inferno is supposed to be Entity's best map, and that they've had phenomenal results in practice games against SEA teams. But then why are you not able to comfortably dispatch off with Indian opponents, is my question. Because look, it's not about, coming off as a gigantic,
tool,
male genitalia.
Tool.
Yeah. But SEA teams are better. They just are. That's a fact. There's no, nationalism coming into play here. They're just better. And if you can beat them consistently on this map, then, and if this is your best map, it's not looking like it. I think any team would be able to beat Entity on this map on any given day.
Caramel has sneaked into mid right now. He's gotten a second frag for himself as well. Marzel should have taken him down there, but Amaterasu finally does put Caramel down. But it's a 3v4 situation now for Entity Gaming. And yeah, their hopes and dreams are fading away, because it's just they're dying to a player just sneaking in to mid to right. That shouldn't be happening. And it does look like it doesn't look like Entity Gaming's best map is Inferno, for sure, because it is of course the widest played map as well. Sai now flashed off, smoked off, and he's molotoved off, and he's basically dead. He's about to die right now. He has nowhere to go. He's done.
Okay, maybe not.
Okay, and also Amaterasu does get a frag elsewhere at Banana, and all of a sudden it is a 2v2 retake now because Reaper has taken down Sai, and it is doable now because there are a couple of nades as well on Entity. Well-placed nades would help them. Smoking off Reaper for the retake. Reaper's gonna reposition, but never give up. Takes down Amaterasu and Hellranger. He doesn't even need Reaper's help, and now 14-8 to Entity, and they have no money whatsoever. We're gonna see match point coming in unless something magical happens for Entity.
You know, I just had a flashback of Entity's T side because Never Give Up again was playing the same damn position right next to Fountain and managed to get 2 quick kills on people aggressing in from Banana. You know, they say लातों के भूत बातों से नहीं मानते. Entity भाई तुम किससे मानोगे यार? लात खा चुके, बात खा चुके, थप्पड़ खा चुके, अब टपली भी खा गए. Bro, when will you learn that pre-fire that spot? Do something.
Yep, I agree. And now Entity has taken a timeout because they're wondering what in hell are we gonna do? What they're gonna do is they're gonna bow out of this round and they are gonna play for the overtime. That is the decision taken by Hellranger in consort with his team. But I mean, Intencity Pune 5, they've looked impressive. I'm not taking anything away from them, even though Entity has looked poor. Intensity Pune 5 on Inferno have looked to be like a force to reckon with.
Yeah,
force to be reckoned with, rather.
Yeah,
and
they are the better team. At least on this day, they have looked the better team on Inferno. Entity has looked out of sorts, off tempo, off color, off balance. Every off you can imaginable. Every off imaginable. They have looked that. Entity, this has not been their day. And Pune, Intensity Pune 5, credit where credit is due. They've played textbook Inferno. Maybe not on the CT side, but on the T side, they have been remarkable. I can't fault anything that they've done so far.
I agree. And it's just... Oh, wait. Entity Gaming 4 spot, by the way. While you were talking about that, and Entity Gaming has 4 spot into this round, so they are going for broke. They aren't going to try to play for the overtime. And it's a risk. And they have also stacked the B-bomb side, the A-bomb side. Intensity Pune 5 though, being really cautious, being really slow, and they are going to go to the A-bomb side, but unfortunately Mrinl has now rotated towards B. The stack call should have... Ooh, walking into a crossfire through the smoke, not the best thing you're going to do, and Caramel finally does get a frag onto Falcon, but only after 3 of his teammates were taken down, and now he's scoped in. And Sai peeks out at the opportune moment, and all of a sudden, Entity Gaming, with that mid crossfire, has picked up a round that they had no business winning, and now they really need to build off of that. And every round is the last round for them because they still, even though they did save 3 guns, well, 2 guns, they're not going to have any money going in. So if they lose 1 round, it is basically going to be GG for Entity Gaming. And Intensity Pune 5. They need a better pop flash and a better plan than walking through a smoke.
I mean, I just love the fact that Sai, like, just channeling his inner Tom and Jerry that round, just hiding behind that pillar so perfectly. Not a pixel leaking either way. Oh, all right. Interesting boost coming out. Sai rattles off a shot, but nothing really comes of it. Playing the edge of that smoke. And finally, some aggression of Banana. Like, can you imagine? It's taken 24 rounds to get some active control over Banana. Adi, I can't wrap my head around this. And Mrinl, this could actually work out. He's going to have the perfect position, continues his spray, and does what he did in the first round, getting 2 quick kills. But now Hellranger has to fall back and gives up Banana control, but they have the man advantage. Entity can just sit on their laurels and force Intensity Pune 5 to do all the heavy lifting for the remainder of this round, of which there's about 50 seconds left. And Intensity Pune 5 still have a lot of utility at their disposal. 3 smokes, 2 molotovs, and 4 flashbangs. So it's not like they're completely out just yet. And looks like it is going to be a hit towards the A bomb site. Good flashbang to hold off any push and that Molotov as well.
Caramel now trying to peek with the right, but instead Falcon is going to rip his head off, and Falcon is going to get a second frag with before he's finally replied to by RSN. RSN, the only player who has got any frags this round for Intencity Pune 5. And now he's in a 1v3 situation, and Amaterasu is going to shut it down. And now, all of a sudden, Intencity Pune 5 are looking at an eco, and Entity Gaming is finally going to get a round closer, hopefully. And
yeah, Intencity still have a couple of timeouts left. I think this would be an ideal time, like right after this round, when you have your buy coming in, for Intencity to call a timeout, or even use up all their remaining timeouts and just calm themselves. Gather their nerves, because they've been phenomenal on the T side so far, and there's no reason for them to let their feet, get their foot off the pedal. And it's going to be some aggression this time up mid. Falcon just doesn't realize that there are other keys on the keyboard. Then W, Amaterasu gets to. Falcon is going to be falling back, spots out Mavis, gets the kill. Reaper very, very low. Sai marking Boiler. Caramel, wow, Sai surviving by the skin of his teeth, and that's going to leave Reaper in a 1v4 with just a P250, some Kevlar, and a Dream.
And yeah, touching back to Entity, right? Considering they're a salaried and paid organization, I really think they've been underperforming in the Premiership, because currently the top two teams in the Premiership are Invictus and Brutality. Brutality, in fact, is unbeaten, by the way, 4 games, and they've even beaten Invictus just yesterday. And the top of the table, the two teams, they're basically weekend teams. No salaries, no organizations. Well, yes, organizations, but Brutality and Invictus both have no salaries. And Brutality, in fact, they don't even practice that much, because they are more like a weekend team now. Because, I know that A-Star as well as Fox are busy with MBA with their MBAs and their MBA entrance exams and things like that. And yeah, Rix and Juventa are also busy with work. So yeah, it's just surprising, right? When a salaried organization should be winning, and Sai, through the smoke, takes out Reaper with the pre-fire, but RSN takes out Marzel, punishes his aggression, and all of a sudden it's still down to a 4v4. And I like that though by Entity. The aggression is something which has been working for them, and they've done it again. But yeah, I think Marzel was a little overeager that round.
Just wait for Sai to try and get that peak in mid. I understand what Marzel was going for, getting that aggressive peak towards alt mid and trying to maybe get a leg up. But this time around, Intencity Pune 5, they were wary of the act. They were waiting for aggression somewhere. They didn't leave spawn for a good 20-30 seconds into the round. And now they're finally working their way up towards apartments. They've got a decent amount of map control, nothing towards Banana. So this is basically what's allowing Entity right now to swing one player over towards Library and focus heavily towards the A bomb site. It's solely based off of Amaterasu's positioning. And he needs to be very careful, because Marzel got a brace from here. And oh, he's pushing. He's pushing. He can catch a few players off guard. Oh, what a shot from Mavis. Just Amaterasu getting deleted off the server. Beautiful shot. Now Sai, he's got to do a lot of work. Can he land another shot through the smoke?
No is the answer. Well, he does land a leg shot, but Caramel climbing up now, but he's been spotted out by Falcon. And it's a 3v4 retake for Entity, and they have to go for this, because they will be broke if they don't win this. Well, not broke, but it'll be a really rough buy. And Falcon, just running in with that MP9, suddenly gets 2 frags. And RSN does come in with the trade finally, but it is down to a 2v2. And Entity actually have a chance in this round now.
I mean, Falcon with them hero plays. He just went Leroy into the B bomb site. And Mavis, he's in a bit of trouble. Oh, Sai should have come in for support there. Hellranger will be furious with the lack of support coming in from Sai. And rightly so, Sai is punished with a bullet to the side of the face.
That retake not panning out for Entity, even though Falcon had some heroic frags that round. But anyway, Entity does have the money. In fact, I'm mistaken. Entity does have the money to go for a full buy, so they're not out of it just yet. They are going to call for their last timeout as well. In fact, their first timeout was used by Intencity Pune 5. They had asked for it. They had no idea how to call a timeout, which is which is surprising. But anyway, like Entity now, last time out, what are they going to do? Double ups, 3M4s, all the utility they could want. Now it's now or never for Entity, honestly. And I'm honestly like, I'm gonna say it right now, outright. Even if Entity does come back, I am disappointed, and this isn't good enough for them because they need to be. They have a coach. They have a, they have everything they need. Honestly, they have a great manager. They have some great funding. It's a great organization, Entity Gaming, and this performance, it's not fitting of that organization.
Yeah, it's unbecoming of the privileges that you've been given as a professional CSGO player in India. That's all I'm going to say. In fear of incurring the wrath of, fanboys.
Yep, and Sai again going for a boost, this time from the other side. He's not going to spot anyone. There is nobody at that car position. Ooh, he does try to rattle a shot through the smoke onto the gutter area. But unfortunately, just a pixel off. And now, Intencity Pune 5, they need to pull something. Well, actually, Entity Gaming needs to pull a rabbit out of the hat right now because it's now or never.
It is now or never indeed. Sai needs to be careful. The smoke is fading and he's going to get pushed from 2 directions. He needs to be very, very careful. That pop flash, that smoke, yeah, it's going to allow Caramel to peek towards. Or is it?
Sai overstaying his welcome. And there you go. He is going to get peeked out on by Caramel. Sai should have repositioned ages ago. That was just a massive misplay by him. And now he's given the man advantage to Intencity Pune 5. And off the back of that, Hellranger has rotated to the A bomb side. And the terrorists are going B, where there is only Marzel sitting with the op. The call has come out now that the execute is coming on. Marzel leg shots someone, but his head is ripped clean off, and all of a sudden it's down to Amaterasu, who is taken out by Caramel, who had sneaked into mid to left. And there you go, Intencity Pune 5, 16 to 11, making it look easy and making quick work of Entity Gaming.
And that was well played to Intencity Pune 5. But that's all from our side, folks. Over to the studio. It's Vagish and Angie, or Gautam and Angie? The lineup.
It's Vagish and Angie on the studio waiting for you. This was Fet and Adi. We're going to sign off now. So see you guys tomorrow.
Welcome back to the studio segment of the ESL India Premiership 2018 Summer Season Masters League, brought to you by Omen, by HP, HyperX and Intel, and presented to you by Northern Gaming and ESL India, Angie.
ESL India.
India.
All right.
Because ESL has a lot of branches.
Yes.
No, but moving on, that is not the topic of debate. There are 2 things which I will address today. First of all, let's begin with the game.
Yeah.
This game, I have no reason whatsoever to disagree with Aditya. This could have been an Entity game, but sadly it wasn't. Intencity Pune 5, A, have shown what resilience can do for you in a game. B, they have shown what synergy can do for you in a game. C, they have shown Entity Gaming that they are here, they can win, and if they can win, so can anybody else. All you need to do is chink.
A very proud victory
that chink in the armor. Hellranger taking that tactical timeout, trying to rally up his troops on the last lees of this game, is not going to make much of a difference according to me. That would not have made any kind of a difference to me. In fact, if you look at it, the way I see it, they have done, like Fet was right, Fet was also right. Textbook CSGO. Intencity did right by every single thing this map could have been done right with, and that's where they get 9 out of 10. I cannot give full marks because board rules apply. You cannot give like full marks. Yeah. So 9 out of 10 to Intencity Pune 5, and that is why I knew it somewhere deep down inside it could be an Intencity 5 game. Not that Entity did not give a tough fight. Not that they did not give a tough fight. They did try. They tried. They went down trying. Kudos to Sid Joshi's team there. But again, man, not your day. Not your day, not your play. Expected so much more, sadly.
I mean, talking about just watching this game or even the teams in general, whether it be any kind of game in general. I mean, when you talk about entity gaming, we even talked about this yesterday before we closed the segment, that when you're sitting right there, it's you just have to win.
You have everything to lose.
And then the expectation is so much that, you know, when a team like Intencity Pune comes into the margin, it's beautiful to see them, and I'm so proud to see them play so well. I think this is their second victory, and they should be very proud that this victory is against a team which is going to give them so much confidence in their upcoming games. They had beautiful strategy, they coordinated gameplay, they were quick with their rotations, and it was on point, complete textbook Counter-Strike. And I was very happy to see a team like that come in, and I'm expecting a lot from this team now.
Huge shout out to ICP5. I'd like to call them now. Henceforth, I christen you ICP5, Intencity Pune 5. Well, that wraps up the first point there, kind of. In fact, let's bring up the standings right now while we're at it. And take a look at how it... Invictus up top. Brutality following them. They're shy of 2 games and they are unbeaten. They're the only team unbeaten so far, and they have a good run there. They can still continue this streak there. That's the brutality we've been waiting for. We waited an entire season, like 3 seasons in 2017 to see this kind of brutality there. We're finally getting to see that. ND Gaming have managed to lose their second game now. They're in the 3rd position, 4 wins, 2 losses. SRA, kind of decent, kind of not. They have limited number of matches. That's the maximum they can, and they can choose to not lose those games, remaining games there. Portal Esports, pretty much similar conditions next to Brutality, if you look at it. They are at 4 games down the line. They've won 3, they've lost 1. My problem is with the fact that right now War and Vagband and Niati, out of them, War Gaming has less scope in comparison to all the other teams like Intencity Pune 5 and Malhar, 2 Easy Gaming. These are the teams who are vying for a spot, a cushy spot. They played 4 games. They can make it up top. They have the matches there. And if they continue, I'm pretty sure Intencity Pune 5 might not be in the danger zone. In fact, they are more of a danger to SRA, teams like SRA and Portal Esports, because they have a good chance to go up there in the ladder. Well, that's the standing of the Masters League there. Now, before we head off to Dota 2, because that's the next game there, we'll take a short break here. But before we take the short break, the second bit, the second very important bit, Angie. Do you know what day is it today?
It's a Friday.
Good. Do you know what date is it today?
I think it's the 23rd or the 24th. Wait, it's the 27th.
It's the 27th. Good. Thank you. Thank you for doing that to me.
I'm sorry, I had day 23.
It's perfectly fine. 27th. It has been brought to my notice, and I will not take this kindly. It's a very serious matter, Angie. Very serious matter. Each and every one of you who posted those spoilers on the chat, I got my eye on you, man. Thanos demanded your silence. You did not choose to be silent, and now your reality is going to be infinitely, infinite amounts getting jacked big time by me. It's you and me. And if I was Liam Neeson, I would say, I will find you and I will track you down. Remember. And I will send this to break right about now. Yes, we'll come back after the short break.
That was beast.
Game, record, and stream without compromise on Intel Core i7.
The ESL India Premiership 2018 has 3 seasons: summer, fall, and winter. The summer season takes place from April to June, while the fall season runs from July to September. Finally, the winter season takes place from October to December. Coming to tournament formats, each season is divided into 3 tiers: the professional tier, the Master League; the semi-professional tier, the Challenger Series; the Open tier, the Starter Cups. Moving on to the frequency, every season in the ESL India Premiership 2018 will see 1 Master League, 3 Challenger Series, and 3 Starter Cups. The Masters League now hosts 12 teams and players. Meanwhile, the Challenger Series has 8 contestants and follows a double elimination format. Finally, the Starter Cups are now limited to only 128 participants, so make sure you register for the Premiership now. Once you register for the Starter Cup 1, you'll have to fight your way to the top. At the end of the phase, you will get promoted to the Challenger Series 1. You should try and maintain your position in the Challenger Series 1, 2, and 3. But this is no easy task. At the end of every phase, the bottom 2 contestants are dropped out. They are replaced by the top teams from the Starter Cups. Those who succeed in the Challenger Series are rewarded with promotion to the Master League. The top 4 teams will proceed to play in the next season's Masters League. Meanwhile, the Master League runs uninterrupted until the end of the season. The 12 champions will constantly try to establish their dominance over the others. But at the end of a season, the bottom 4 teams are relegated to the Challenger Series, while the top 4 play at the land finale for the top prize. ESL India Premiership 2018 begins in April. The registrations are on, so make sure you sign up now.
Welcome back to the studio segment of the ESL India Premiership 2018 Summer Season Masters League A. I'm not trying to be cool. I really do have an eye problem, Rohit, Pal and gang. I read your... See, you guys can't presume that I do not know what's happening. I read everything. I see everything. I'm like Brother Eye, which Batman created. And in fact, if you look at it, a lot of you would not know what Brother Eye is because, hey, you guys just watch movies and don't read comics. And that's the difference between you and me. Moving on. Problem in the eye, not being cool. Hence the sunglasses, right, Angie?
I mean, it's pretty obvious that you wouldn't wear
yeah,
sunglasses.
I mean, nobody wants to wear sunglasses in a studio. Like, if I had to be cool, I'd wear an eye patch, dude. Like, if I had to be cool, like, yeah, I mean, that'll be there. But we have an interesting Dota game lined up. We have Signify versus the Council from Bangladesh, ready to rev against each other. I've been told both the teams have been waiting for quite some time here. Yes. So let's quickly get done with the formalities of introductions. Let's start off with Signify. Alrighty then. In case you were wondering why we're like giggling gleefully, it's just that we were not being nice towards Team Signify. Yeah. I was just saying that Crowley looks like a metalhead gone wrong. No Chance looks like a DJ of a club. Negi looks like club bouncer. Swifty is like manager. Hey, come on, these guys are my buddies. They're like buddies. So they won't feel offended. But in fact, let's quickly take a look at the other team in question here. Team the Council. All right, that's Team the Council from Bangladesh. They won the Challenger 2 in Bengaluru back in 2016. Sadly, they made it till the finals in the winter season, but could not win it because, if I remember correctly, Crowley was playing for his old team there at that time. Yeah. He had some contract formality, so Crowley was playing there. Council lost to them in the Masters of 16, winter 16. After that, Council's not had a greatish run. They've been, like, come on, I have seen Council up top, and I don't expect them to be our bottom. And this time around, if I can bring up the standings of Dota, I mean, if you realize, if you see these standings, this is not where Council is supposed to be. Even though they have a lot of matches in hand, they've managed to lose 3 games altogether. They've only managed to win 1. So they need to pull up their socks. Signify in a strong position, 6 games down, all 6 of them won, no losses whatsoever.
Beautiful 18 points for themselves on that board.
All right, so that's pretty much how the standings look like. Council definitely needs to move up. That's all I got to say. In fact, I've been informed by the production again that the draft is live.
I hope they go for the Chen.
I don't want to see an OD in this game. I don't know why.
I'm going to see
I'm fed up of seeing an OD in this game. I see a Pangolia. Oh, nice! Thank you, Deaths. If you have heard me through like God knows so long a distance, I guess like.
But I would like to mention that Signify, understanding that Council is very good on that Chen, going to just quickly ban that off the clock. Also, I want to mention in
this Zunoon is the reason. Zunoon is one of the great Chen players I've seen.
Also, we have just recently seen that DOTA got an update just yesterday in a 7.14. So
Techie is in captain mode.
Techie is in captain mode, definitely, but Dark Willow getting a nerf there, Witch Doctor getting a nerf, Terrorblade getting a nerf. So I'm going to be very surprised to see how this draft kind of pans out. We have seen the Witch Doctor so much in the ESL and
I'm pretty sure this Angie is going to be a standard pick. I mean, I'm pretty sure Signify would want to split push this out because Council has a very nasty habit of like being in the jungle, they're like the jungle team, you know. They are not like a lane push team. They like to gank from corners and do their shit. So that's how it is. But they still managed to pick up Witch Doctor there.
So the Witch Doctor, if people have not already read the update, now his Maledict is starting from a cooldown 50 seconds at level 1. It goes down in a cooldown of 50, 40, 30, and 20. So he's got to be a little afraid on Council. I mean, it's a risky pickup, but also a Maledict is used only in times of a kill. So if they are able to synchronize the combination with the Sand King, it could work beautifully for them. Meanwhile, Signify going to opt and pick up the Nature's Prophet and the Tusker. Tusker being one of their favorite 4th role supports also makes me think that they better ban out that Monkey King. Otherwise, if they do get Blizzard on the Monkey King, it's going to be a lot of good rotations coming in from him after 15 minutes.
Well, this Omni Knight has been banned quite often. In fact, I have hardly seen an Omni Knight in this season, like once or twice.
He's just recently become one of the top pickups because he fares very well against a lot of heroes. Plus, he's very sustainable in the off lane for himself. He removes physical damage, so it really works well against heroes that are very magically strong. And in this particular update of Dota 2, magical heroes have become very strong, whether it be the Witch Doctor, the Sand King, the Skyrath Mage. There's so many heroes to name. So the Disruptor, for example. So Omni fares well against that. Also, the fear of knowing that you can't really run into a fight if you have an Omni Knight in the backline, so kind of saves the team the discomfort of knowing that they may not be able to make it. For now, Council is going to ban off the Shadow Fiend, and Signify going to reply with that with a ban on the Puck. Good ban coming in there from Signify. Also, Council knowing that...
I like the tiny Pangolia bans earlier by the Council and the QOP, which has just come in now.
Yeah.
This QOP ban can change the destiny of this game into Council's favor, who desperately need more wins up their belt.
And this also makes me think that since the Tinker is not banned off for now, the Council do like to play a Tinker quite a bit.
Oh,
so
that's the Gyrocopter they've banned.
Gyrocopter, also another hero that the Council loves to play as a carry. So going to just quickly get negated over there by Signify. That also makes me think that they could go even for an Ursa pickup, maybe push this game early, not really opt to go for the normal play style. It could really work in their favor because sometimes if you play out of the box, it kind of makes a big difference. And against the team of Signify, you got to make sure that all your planning goes out of the box. But for now, we do see that the lifesteal is still available if the Council or the Signify want to pick up that pick. For now, we're going to take some time with this. This is a very important pick for Council. They could opt to pick up their offlaner for now. They could even pick up the Elder Titan if they like. Works well for them. They played that before. And Signify is going to mostly opt to go for the Pang. Pang is being banned, so the Dark will also be sent offlane.
You know who I'd love to see this game? A Morphling.
A Morphling. It could be.
A Morphling in this game. I don't know why. I have this very great feeling, this surge of inspiration that a Morphling in this game could turn the tides of the Council, because the strength agi shift can work wonders.
I mean, but the only thing with the Morphling is that he needs that early game momentum.
Yes, indeed,
and Signify, if they opt to pick up something like an Earth Spirit, or they opt to pick something like even a Disruptor, it could be devastating for the Morphling. But Council playing it safe for now. Love that Juggernaut pickup as well with the Witch Doctor and the Sand King. They could have a very safe try lane. Also, they're going to be against A35, who's going to be sitting in the off lane. So he's pretty aggressive in the early stages of the game. So this fares very well for them. Signify going to reply with a Lion. I love that pick. He is in the meta. He fares well. His Finger of Death going to make sure that at least one person is going to be taken down from the Council. Signify with the Nature's Prophet. I would like to talk more about this Nature's Prophet pick. I mean, he is going to be in the off lane. May as well. He knows that it's a very strong tri lane coming in there from Council, so he doesn't really need to sit there for long. He's just going to come when the creeps kind of reach his star. Going to take that experience, head into the jungle, get his farm going. Also, it also means that he is going to be rotating a lot in this game.
That's what I meant. Yeah, that's what I also intended earlier. I'm very interested to see the picks Council is going to make this time around, because Sand King and Witch Doctor, pretty standard, even though WD has been nerfed after today's update earlier. So this is going to be a sight to see. Who do you think the picks could be?
I mean, I was hoping that Signify do go for the Lone Druid, because they are going into more of a split potential kind of lineup with the Nature's Prophet coming in, and I think the Lone Druid could fare really well against a lineup like that. Council going to pick up the Invoker. Now, I like that pick. A little risky, knowing that there's a Tusker and Lion who are constantly going to be there to gank him. Also, till now they've not even picked up their mid, so it could be devastating if there's a Viper that comes against that Invoker. But for now, we're going to just give some time and see what they have in store. Signify just going to play it cool. Going to pick up a Wind Ranger there. I love that pickup.
I haven't seen a Wind Ranger.
It's the first time. It's the first
time.
Yeah. I think in a long time, it's the
Wind
first
Ranger,
time.
in fact, Lion also has not been picked that often. If you realize, a Lion, a Nature's Prophet, and Wind Ranger coming in from Signify. In fact, if you look at it, Invoker has not been played that much.
Yeah. I think he's been played in about 2 games. In
like Wind Ranger is a first, so is a Lion, I believe.
If that's a mid Wind Ranger, it's going to be a treat to watch. I mean, I've not really checked if she's got a buff in the 7.14, because I didn't really expect her to be picked. But like you mentioned, and congratulations to you on that, when the Morphling gets picked up over there. And that's going to be Blizzard playing the Morphling from Signify. This also says that there's going to be huge ganking potential, huge movement on this map. Towers are going to be traded hard, and Council looking into their lineup, I'm noticing that they want to go into a 5-man push, and that is what they're looking at. But Signify going to make sure that even if they want a 5-man, it's all right with them. They're going to take down towers. It's a very diverse
range of heroes which you're seeing. They've banned out the Magnus, they've banned out the Void, picked up the Morphling, and now it's up to the Council to somehow balance this entire equation out. I mean, they are in a dither. I was expecting Council to go with the Morphling, and there's I think. Has somebody rigged my microphones? Can the teams hear me? I have zero idea. How do they hear me?
No, the Morphling is definitely a great pickup. I mean, even for Signify, it's a beautiful. He doesn't really need that much of...
I like this pick. I like this.
Pick up
this
the
Undying is the first in the...
I think the second. I think the first time it was played by... I'll tell you which team. I think Alpha Esports.
I think it was off stream, if you remember.
It was off stream. I guess it was off stream, but I remember this pick being there in
but
the
Undying is a wonderful hero, one of my personal favorites in my own collection of heroes, I would like to say.
But I think both these teams have come in with the thought process of not really sitting and countering the other team. I think they've just come in with a very strict lineup that they have played a lot of times, especially the Council, since they are sitting a little low on the leaderboard. They are looking to confirm more victories, and we did see in the previous game of Counter-Strike, I mean, anybody as an underdog can be ahead and perform and even bring down the biggest and the best teams.
And it has to be so. It's very imperative for a team like the Council to win this game so that they can maintain their hold in the Masters League. They are right on the danger spot. They don't have to be. They are good. They can make this better. And Undying in the game, late game also, the guy has too much of strength steal And the ultimate is another headache for the opposition.
And I've also noticed that Council picks heroes that they are very comfortable playing. They don't really try, and like even the Chen and the Sky, we saw them last game, they are well versed with their heroes. So if they are able to pull off that draft, I think they could take this game longer than expected, even take this victory. Because I mean, I'm not going to be biased to a Signify and say, yeah, they're going to take it. They may not take it.
I'm surprised Council didn't go with their staple Skyrath mage. I would have loved to see the good
I think
old
they just
Skyrath.
felt that Signify would have studied their draft before this, and that's why they didn't want to take it. But I'm very excited to see how this game goes.
Alrighty then, so then let's head off into the game. Vivek and Floki are already ready and waiting to cast this game. So over to you, gentlemen.
Hello folks and welcome back to the ESL India Premiership. My name is Vivek. With me in the studio today is Floki, and we got Signify facing off versus the Council. The Council, they've been looking strong. They looked particularly strong in their previous game when they had Len in their roster. This time they don't. And let's see if they have enough to take down Signify.
Oh yeah, Signify, one of those teams that have been at the top of ESL India Premiership time and time again. And the Council, I think they're one of the good teams who can contest Signify and sort of give Signify and ROG a bit of a run for their money. Let's see if they can pull it off in this game. I am excited to see what they can do. I do like the draft on the side of Signify a bit better. But with that said, I do want to give the underdogs a shot and believe that they can indeed take a game off of Signify.
Okay. As most of us should know, this is a new patch, and I think one of the biggest changes is that you can't pull the creep aggro for the first wave. Both of us had various theories on how this would pan out. I said we'd see more dual lanes. We are seeing a dual lane, but you had one theory with the Earthshaker.
Oh yeah. So if you want to play off-lane Earthshaker, you... Okay, I have to cut
Lost Rider. He's got the Fairy Fire, but yeah, Negi got the...
What?
I think Negi hasn't... No, Negi doesn't have an Orb of Venom. It's just him with the boots. And before the clock even starts ticking, Negi had no chance to draw first blood.
The clock has started ticking. It's 48 seconds into the game. But the problem is that Lost Rider turned back to get a last cast off for some reason, and that actually made sure he dies.
No, I mean, I think the point at which he turned back, he was already dead, but I'm not sure. We've got a mid-Wind Ranger. I think Swifty used to play this hero a lot when she was more popular in the meta. I basically back then, I remember Viha as the god of Wind Ranger.
Oh yeah.
And prior to that, it was Light of Heaven. I don't know. I mean, that was a different patch. Shackles were more broken. The shackle shot was more broken. One of the changes to Wind Ranger in this patch is that power shot for each level does around 10 to 20 damage more than it did in the previous patch.
Yep.
I might be getting the numbers a bit off. I think at least 10 damage more per level. Actually,
it's around 20 damage.
Check this right now. So yeah, it was 160 earlier, it's 180, then it was 260 earlier, 270. So they've done a little bit of math and they've buffed up the power shot.
Yeah,
I was keeping my eyes on this lane. Floki, this was supposed to be an aggressive try lane or some sort of a dual lane that was supposed to get active early on, and Jin just dies.
Yeah, so the thing about Lion is he's really good in these dual lane situations. Lion is a hero who has a stun as well as a hex, so he has tons of disable for these dual lanes, and 99% of the time, Lion is going to be able to win these dual lanes as long as he has somewhat of a compete and carry to help him pick up those skills. And Morphling is one of those. Even though early game suffers a bit because waveform doesn't need the most damage, the right click is not to be underestimated at any stage.
Right, she's got some new potential with the waveform. The only stun that
How do you know it's a she and not a he?
I'm not going into gender politics here, Floki. I mean, there are people at Oxford and Harvard writing about that. It's not our cup of tea. But yeah, so Blizzard, she has got a fair amount of kill potential. Speaking of kill potential, Van with the bottom strike, he's caught out Crowley trying to run, still holding on to that Earth Spike. Has 9 stick charges, turns around, slows down the Undying. Van trying to look for that secondary bottom strike. Sunstrike will not connect, and Van doesn't have the range.
Well, he's gonna find the bottom strike because of cross stick.
He's actually getting the range, and he might get the kill. Crowley might just stick down.
He has stick. He's on the stick, and he will live. Well, okay, that was never gonna be enough. That like what, 10 damage? But still, this is a good space for Jin.
Yeah.
Oh god, what's happening top?
I think so. Negi just sent his screens on the Witch Doctor and TP'd out in front of their faces, and they had nothing to really stop that.
I mean, Nature's Prophet is another one of those heroes that is really, really strong in these dual lanes. You have your trains that can just run at the enemy heroes, and if you don't have the right kind of abilities to deal with those trains, you're gonna suffer in the early game.
Yeah.
And generally, a dual lane with Nature's Prophet is always gonna turn out to be very strong.
Absolutely.
Doesn't matter what kind of carries you have, you always need a way to clear those trains.
That's, I think he got spotted out. The shots are there from No Chance. That's looking for a way out of here. The shots blocking him up, not for long the trains. Not being microed effectively, and the cast will stop Nengi and No Chance from pursuing. Mid lane, I think Susmo isn't doing all that bad.
Yep, by no means. I think Susmo is actually going to start to gain the advantage in this matchup because he now has 2 points in Exhort, 2 points in Quas. So with a pair of raindrops, he's going to mitigate a lot of power shot damage, and with Quas, he's going to be able to regen back up every single time they do decide to trade.
He's also got those 2 null talismans and the fairy fire.
Oh yeah, so he's tanking.
Yeah, up top we got another set of shots coming up from No Chance. The greens are there. Lost Rider will run away. Death going in with the Blade Fury, but there's no real control. And he's being worked upon here. No Chance has the shots coming off cooldown in 80. Start with the snowball. The Sprout, not effective, but it doesn't matter. They get the Juggernaut. They do lose the task, but Negi might find himself another. The cast, is it enough?
Yes, it should be. It is.
It is. But I think when you're applying that much pressure early on the enemy 1 position and your Morphling's getting farm, I think that's absolutely okay.
Yeah, that's completely worth it. In fact, I think the idea from Signify is to sort of force Jin or at least the Sand King to rotate top and help out the carry. And I think this is what they should do at this point. Jin can't really get anything more out of this lane. I mean, he's level 3 now. He can somewhat hold on his own and just find levels.
Yeah.
Crowley.
There was a kill onto the Invoker in the mid lane. 50. Recognizing the fact that he needed help, but down got him. Crowley being run down here, has the Earth Spike in a face, the Power Strike will control him. There's a Mango as well, and with the Soul Rip, they'll find the kill. Blizzard still manning up, has the wave bomb, and he should find the Sand King with the trees, providing a bit of cover, but not enough. Both of them end up picking up the kill. They're sharing the gold for it, but Blizzard gets all the XP and Crowley's back in the lane. He's got the Hex, 2 points in the Earth Spike. Jin with 16 points of stolen strength might be tanky. He's got 2-1 charges, and Blizzard not wanting to pursue with the waveform, recognizing the fact that it is still the early part of the game and people do respawn quickly.
Oh yeah.
Second main, no chance. The Shackles setting up perfectly for the shots, but this one looks to turn, has the cold snap and the ice wall. The power shot absolutely off the mark with no chance. Still trying to force the issue with the snowball. So smart. Chasing for that task will not find it. The sigil also proving to be very helpful, but Van with the power strike. Jin with the soul rip. Swifty does end up falling as well.
Swifty had the wind run. I'm surprised.
Crowley might just find himself a kill. Crowley blind Earth Spike in the trees. Nope, he's not trying to take any risks today.
He's gonna die if he actually stays there. Oh wait, he goes back in. He might pay for it with his life, but Van doesn't. He does have the boots, so he could have gone for the battle strike in fact, but he didn't. So there's action all over the map. I'm surprised that Swifty didn't wind run over there. He had it off cooldown. He instead went for the power shot. Might have been a misclick and costed him his life. Also, I want to point out that No Chance made a slight adjustment to this Tusk build. He went for the 1 point in Sigil, which really enabled them to get that Invoker kill. If it weren't for the Sigil, the Invoker would have been able to run away and juke into the face.
Up top, Negi.
Oh no.
Gotta be careful, the Maledict will wear off and No Chance realizes that there isn't any kill potential. Just tries to go up on Lost Rider. Negi with the Sprout doing it. Up quick Blade Fury, but Negi looking to TP back home, does make it in the nick of time. The Sunstrike will not do too much while up top. No Chance.
Yeah, I think
Find himself some EXP.
I think the Sunstrike. Oh my god. The Wrath of Nature.
With the Wrath of Nature. Bouncing all across the map, securing that kill onto the Juggernaut, and this is not a happy place. Down mid though, another shackle shot coming up from Swifty. Earth Spike perfectly done there by Crowley.
No Chance is dropping as well. Where's No Chance?
Up top, No Chance. He's dropping low. The Sprout is there. Lost Rider. I mean, No Chance still wants to fight. He's gonna get himself a kill, get himself a killing spree, and probably with this snowball, he might just end up falling. Yep, that's had the Blade Fury long enough. He's gonna get the kill. That's a lot of gold going towards the Juggernaut, and he needed it.
Oh yeah, he needs it for sure. His laning phase has been absolute garbage, in all honesty. There's nothing that he's gotten out of this lane, apart from XP and a little bit of farm. Bottom lane, an attempt onto Blizzard's life is difficult. Yeah. He has one charges, he has waveform and the strength toggle.
2 mangoes also.
Yeah, I mean, it's summer season, mangoes are on discount, you know. So he's just gonna make the most of it.
Yeah.
Also, the efficiency play from Blizzard as well. He dropped all his items, toggled all over to agility, pops his on, and he's back at full HP.
F mid. Crowley just trying to set up on this point without the point in Vex. Has no real chance of getting the hell out of there. 50. Making the most of his double damage run.
Wrath of Nature as well, actually. I think it was committed for that kill and it ended up dealing a lot of damage.
Oh yeah. Up top, no chance. He's an Omni Flash. Doesn't have anyone. Yeah, he's found the creep wave up top. He's gonna snowball towards that creep wave, and that's looking stupid all of a sudden. Trying to run down. Doesn't have too many one charges. He's trying to run down, no chance, but no chance. Pops his salve, has the sigil giving vision, and he's gonna have the shot in a second. Blind shots from no chance. Does he? Yeah, he's gonna bring it home. Van with the sandstorm buys himself time, but they got detection. Van, the offlaner from the side of Council, moves up top and ends up dying. No chance, gets himself a double kill. And look at this, Floki. The Tusk is more net worth than the Juggernaut.
I mean, Signify is just rolling over the Council. I think in the early game, it's safe to say that they have gotten completely wrecked.
Yeah.
I think the right course of action for Council is to sort of group up towards one lane and try to find a couple of kills. I mean, punish this Nature's Prophet and Tusk for doing overly aggressive stuff. That was the idea, but they came in one by one. And as a result, it costed them more kills. So it's gonna be another while before Council can really be an aggressive maneuver. Oh, what?
Refreshing 50's bottle that no chance has the shots. He doesn't give a damn about the Maledict. He's not even using the snowball just to dodge those Maledict instances. And Negi's gonna get the kill. They're getting themselves a tier 2 tower just 10 minutes in.
Yeah, I mean, this is classic Signify. 9k net worth advantage. And look at Blizzard. He just morphs back into the Undying and he's chasing Jhin. Blizzard, he has the waveform, but he has to get out. He can't stay there for long.
Oh, yeah.
Man, that morphling animation while teeping out. Looks like he's drowning. So let's arrive to a common consensus. I think Morphling is a guy. I don't think Morphling is a girl.
Okay.
I mean, his voice sounds deep and manly.
I guess. It has a little bit of strength to work with. What cancels his own TP?
Yeah, I mean, he was dead there either way.
Did he assume that Blizzard had a point in the Rapid Strike? I'm not sure.
I mean, he knew he was dead. There's no way he got out of this one, so he was like, why even try the efforts to cancel this TP? I think that was... But that does show that Jhin is someone in an uncomfortable position. It does show that he's panicking slightly. Oh, snowball forward. Oh boy.
I mean, all it took is a 4-position Tusk, just throwing his life for that Witch Doctor, and comes to punish this.
I mean, I thought for sure that the Tusk is going to take that.
Here comes Red. He's got the Blade Fury. They're committing for this task. They might need no chance with the shots. And the no chance buys himself time. The shackles are there. Van needs that bonus strike. No chance with the snowball. What is he going to do? He's actually going to with the Ancients up top, and he's got Crowley to back him up. James still wants to pursue. Swiftly being patient on the backline. This is starting to get messy for the Council, and here comes Negi. Van looks to move towards Negi with that burst, like the power shot is there. Van survives, so now there's the Omni Slash. They'll find themselves an Nature's Prophet, and with the Blade Field, they'll get no chance as well. The Council starting to fight back. They've got the cold snap coming up from Susmar, and this should certainly be a death on the line. Swifty though.
Oh god, he's
still sniping kills every now and then. Finds himself the Sand King.
Wait, Jhin doesn't have Doomstone?
Did you see Crowley drop his Tranquil Boots? I don't know what that was about.
Okay, maybe. Can we just toggle over to Jhin and see if he has the point in Doomstone? Okay, so he doesn't, so that's a bit of a problem early on. I mean, it's an awfully on time, to say the least. So he is more likely to, of course, max out his first 2 skills. And likely so, first skill gives you strength, second damage and heals. Top lane though.
Yes, this boy caught in this crowd will end up point in Vex. Didn't get the time or the opportunity to invoke the Ghost Walk.
Yeah, that's not the way Susmai wants to be fingered, but...
Absolutely. Signify looking really strong. 12 minutes in, dominating the map and the Council. I mean, if they want to win fights, they gotta throw bodies there.
Yeah, and Swifty even picked up his Blink Dagger now, so I think this was before. Okay, yeah, he's gonna go straight into the axe.
Oh yeah. No, Swifty.
He missed
He missed the shackle shot. I think he's got the focus fire onto the Sand King.
Okay, yeah, he did.
And Negi might end up paying the price here. Jhin comes in from the back. They've cornered the Nature's Prophet with Negi Shadowblade on cooldown. There's no way he survives. He's got the Sprout that's going to bind some time, but Susmar is there. They get the kill onto the Nature's Prophet and they're chasing for more. It is no chance. And I don't think no chance has his Blink Dagger. He's got the snowball. He's moving on the Lost Rider. Quick power strike coming out. Two-man shackle from Swifty. No chance. With the spawn charges staying alive, but not for long. Susmoy gets himself a double kill. But they did lose that here to target mid.
Yeah, I mean, they're getting all these kills, but they're losing towers and they're losing structures while doing it. And Signify yet to lose a single tower. I think we talked about this. I think I remember you mentioning that Signify versus Aggressive 5.
Yep.
Aggressive 5 had the same problem. They kept losing all the towers.
Yeah.
And I think you talked to Pasol about that. Pasol
Yes.
bounced back and somehow actually beat Signify.
Yeah, all credit to Basol, man. He put in a lot of hard work back then. I've never seen in-game leader with so much drive since him in the Indian scene. I think back then, like just like we have teams now which have their. I'm going to get back to that later because down bottom two-man shackle does connect on the range creep, not to heroes, but the council are looking to fight. They could try and punish Crowley on the line. They cut the Benedict. Crowley moves himself to a corner, cries himself to death, and Lost Rider. I think that's his first kill of the game.
Yeah, and Vengeanger as well, just watching from the sidelines, seeing his king of the jungle die. He is looking to go back and shackle shot.
Ambitious. 50's trying.
Yeah, Swifty is definitely trying. I mean, he's rusty on this hero. He wants to make sure that before he starts playing for those qualifier matches, he is on top. Peak performance on his Wind Ranger. And Wind Ranger, I think she might actually be back in the meta because of this.
I think the other buff that I forgot about is that your attack speed and focus fire has been increased.
Oh yeah, it's increased by a lot. 50, I think.
No, if I'm not mistaken, it's 100, but I could be wrong. I don't want to give away wrong numbers.
We can just have a look.
Because that's pretty much our country's budget for education. It's always a wrong number. But yeah, I think focus fire got changed, and then I think the other change was that the damage that you do in focus fire has also been buffed.
No, I don't think the damage got changed.
I'm pretty certain. I think so. I don't know.
Let's have a look at. Oh wait, just what?
You can pull out your phone and check. Hey wait, we got a nice shackle coming through. The council want to fight across the bounce strike. They might find no chance. So close to his blink, the net was being channeled, and it is clipping Blizzard on the end. They'll commit the Omni Slash. They're looking for the Morph Link, but that Omni Slash ends up losing point. No chance will end up falling. The Deafening Blast doing enough, and Blizzard, controlled corner, has no choice but to man fight. He's walking towards strength, he's holding his ground. The Wrath of Nature bounces around. Blizzard with the waveform still alive. Both 4 positions end up falling. If it is indeed a 4 position, Sand King and Negi looks to run, but they have got detection. The Shadow Blade will not keep him alive. Nice Earth Spike coming up from Crowley. The finger committed onto the Invoker, and Swifty with the Split Dagger. Once the Invoker, they've got detection. He's chasing for Susmoy. He will probably find Susmoy, but the Soul Rift buys time, not enough. Susmoy will fall, and the Sprout sets up another shackle shot onto the Undying. Lost Rider, last man alive on the side of the council, will fall as well.
I mean, Signify, they're rolling all over Council right now, but I do think that this 5-man Dota is not gonna work out for too long. I think they need to split up and get farm on Morphling.
Crowley has a 16-minute blink dagger. It's not like he's been particularly greedy.
He's gotten core kills, and he's gotten a bunch of towers. I think there's also the fact that he's probably getting bounty runes.
Okay.
So, yeah, I mean, Crowley with a blink 16 minutes in. Can I have a look at Crowley's skill build? I think
he didn't put a point into. Oh, he's put 2 points into the mana drain.
Okay, so he's put 2 points. Okay, so he's maxing Hexa. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's the. For a second, I thought he had 3 points in Spike and 2 points in Hex. Ooh, okay. That was close. Shackle Shot could have gotten him.
He was actually, right? I think Negi gave vision of the Sand King.
Yeah,
so he could have gotten the Shackle Shot.
Yeah, but Negi, I think he moved out of vision and moved back in. So Swifty perhaps can keep that off. Rather ambitious Roshan attempt, I would say, by Signify. They do have a team, so
yes,
that might be wrong. And yeah, with the focus fire, I completely forgot about this. Okay, that's. Roshan
The
is
thing
struggling.
about the Rosh pit is that even though you might be inside the pit, if you're like towards the edge, you to attack Roshan.
Yeah.
It's happened to me once. I think it happened because there were just too many summons in the pit.
Treants, zombies, all that kind of stuff.
Exactly.
Uh-oh, Van?
I think Van might end up falling the power shot on point. Yeah, his blink is a pipe dream. 18 minutes in, I think around 1,400 gold. It's going to take a while.
That's not the position you want to be in for off-lane Sand King, to say the least.
Off-lane Sand King.
Yeah, off-lane, I mean, I think you should transition to the jungle, but more points in the Sandstorm.
A bit of a pickle there. Start of the Sprout, no chances here, not even needed. Negi just cleans up.
Yeah, Jin is not in a pickle. He is the pickle, and Signify eating him for breakfast. Oh God,
what do you get?
He got
ice wall and he got ice wall in alacrity.
That's nice.
That is nice.
I
John goes in, gets the Earth Spike shackle on to do. They try to break down the Invoker push with the focus fire. They'll find so smart. Van goes in, drops the sandstorm, but he's missing his mid laner and Signify. Holding the ground. Blizzard drops one last ice wall.
Oh, he's dropping fairly low because of the Maledict actually.
I mean, he's got one charges.
He's got
the buybacks coming up from the council. It seems as if they want to fight. They have lost their tier 3. They fought back. And they're struggling to really punish Signify.
I mean,
Jin looks to run in so small and giving chase as only the threads and a couple of guns. They might find Crowley. There's Switch. The cold snap upon Crowley. They'll turn towards the Undying. There's Signify, who's getting a fair amount of help from the Witch Doctor. They should find no chance. Does end up falling. Crowley drops the finger, but he dies as well. Signify, they have found others on the back line and they're looking to clean up. They move towards the Witch Doctor. They'll bring down Lost Rider and Jin. He's all by himself, but buybacks coming up from the side of the council as Sand King does end up buying back. Now the Juggernaut has buyback as well, but Death isn't committing it. Blizzard going into the enemy base. He's still got the Aegis, but he's got to be careful. He doesn't have the morph, so he can't morph into the Sand King, and he doesn't need to. The Earth by coming up from Crowley, they've got enough control. They will manage to break down the Sand King in so small. PP boys.
Yeah, he's speaking alien language at this point. Signify have beat him up so much that he can't even pronounce words properly. Well, I do want to say that the Council have put up a valiant attempt. I think they had a really good idea in the dual lane with the Undying and Sand.
It was, but it didn't work. I mean,
yeah, they had to go into damage control mode a bit earlier, I think, with the Sand King.
I mean, they're still fighting though. They might find Crowley. The only one they end up finding off. If Blizzard gets the healing one, it's huge. Lost Rider blocked by the shards, no chance. With the snowball looking to go in, he is going on the Juggernaut. And with that Adaptive Strike, they've got the damage. TP is coming in. It is Jin TPing in, but he's missing his Sand King and his Juggernaut. And he ends up cancelling his TP. A Signify claim another lane of balance. Crowley blinks forward at the X. Lost Rider holding his ground, channeling the death. One quick Earth Spike though to interrupt it, and he finds himself coming. Jin controlling this crowd. His mana being removed by that mana drain. It's a power shot from 50 will clean him up. Tornado, Sunstrike. I mean, the Invoker is just throwing his spells, but isn't doing too much with Signify really.
Yeah, sort of a greedy draft here coming in from the council.
Greedy?
I mean, in some aspects, yes, I want to say that because offlaner needs some farm to come online. Invoker is not going to come online in minutes. Juggernaut as well into the lane, and Signify just rolls over them in the lane. I think they lack the ability to win their lanes, to be honest. I mean, Juggernaut inherently doesn't win a lane per se. Sure, he can provide kill potential, and in some cases that might be winning the lane. But in dual lane situations, I mean, you need to have more resistance.
Oh no! I've met these people in my matchmaking circuit. They're the worst kind of cancer. The ones that know that they've won, camp your fountain and keep killing you time and time again. They're worse than the kind of people who are spamming Avengers spoilers here in chat.
Yeah, I mean, these are the worst people. I mean, these people are worse than first pick invokers in my bracket. And mind you, I play in Ancients, really.
Yeah, first pick Invoker. I mean, you're no more in that bracket. You've gone way past it, but yeah, my bracket.
Oh, my bracket as well. I mean, I've had this team, but enough about my bracket. Let's talk about theirs.
Are holding the exact same spot on the map, and they, I mean,
it's just this right
this corner.
Next, yeah.
Whose Observer Ward is that?
Yeah, that's Radiant's Observer Ward. That's the Observer Ward of Signify.
Wait a minute.
Okay, I mean, I think Signify are just trying to boost their stats so their profile looks better at this point, so that people don't contest them when they are for carries and cores. I think that's the plan right now.
That people don't contest them when they ask for?
Roles and stuff. I mean, you know how sometimes people then they go on your profile and then they say, oh, you don't have farming, or you don't have
pushing. To players who are on the leaderboards.
I don't know, man. It's Southeast Asia. Anything can happen. But GG is gonna get called, and looks like that's the end of that. Yeah. Well, Signify, just once again a masterclass performance, rolling over their opponents.
Did you get that?
No, I don't know what Pride or Pride is.
I mean, I'd love to tell the story, but it's something to do with the council along with Akatsuki and some of the players from Signify. One of the first teams to take part in the ESL India Premiership and one of the only teams that have taken part across all 3 editions. It's just something that Death likes to eat, and We have a good old laugh about that every time he comes to the LAN. Signify, they're going to end up winning today. I'm still hoping that Council does manage to coast through and come to the Mumbai LAN finale. It is only phase 1 of the summer season, folks, but this is the end of the Dota 2 broadcast. I'm Vivek, with me was Floki. You can find us, love us, like us, hate us at facebook.com/vivekcasting or facebook.com/FlokiDota.
And that's it, I think.
I think that's it. I'm going to throw it over to the panel. Angela and Wagish. Waiting to hear your thoughts on this one.
We're back again with the studio segment of the ESL India Premiership 2018. Thank you for that sign-off, Vivek. All right, well, this was not the Council's day indeed. They tried, but I think the Invoker got mooched off early game.
Yeah, I mean, there were a lot of things. There were a lot of things. I mean, yes, first of all, even in the draft, I want to mention that Invoker wasn't really a pick you go up against. Even if you're playing, I mean, it's ESL India Premiership. You know your teams are going to be massively strong against you. And you also know that the person you're playing up against is somebody who's on the leaderboards. So you got to play something that even if you're not very good at, you have to play it safe. And I think even a Viper would have fitted better for them because an Invoker needs 18 minutes. And knowing that a team like Signify is known to finish games within the first 20 minutes, you don't want to take that risk. And seeing a draft where you already have a Tusker who's going to be roaming a lot, you have a Lion who's dedicated to just roam around the map and take down kills, it was a very risky pickup taking that Invoker. But, you know, like we saw last time, they picked the Chen, they picked the Skyrath, and it worked in their favor. So very well this time also, I assume that, you know, Invoker would be the choice. At the early game, I would say Council played really well. Whether we talk about the first 7 to 8 minutes of the game, we saw that in the top lane there was a good rotation coming in. The Juggernaut and Witch Doctor holding their ground very strongly against that Nature's Prophet and Tusker. But because we saw that the top lane was doing okay, Tusker just went mid. And once you have an Invoker who's died more than 3 times, his net worth is way below in the charts. I mean, sits on a 5th position. It's kind of hard to come back from there. And it's kind of hard to come back from a team that is so strong. And Signify in general, I mean, playing very objective Dota coming in there, they did take down towers. And we were having a discussion in production that, you know, to a very massive extent, Morphling is left alone after 9 minutes, and we see Crowley always going mid. The reason that they don't really opt to take a tower very early in the game, Signify as a matter of fact, is because they want to give Blizzard that 15 minutes. He needs that 15 minutes to get the basic farm. And whether your opponents decide to take down Blizzard, or it's a choice. Either you take down the 4 other heroes of Signify or you take down Blizzard. And that is where Signify has always taken the cake, because both the times the victory comes in from their end, because even if 4 of their heroes are down, Blizzard is ready to take the fight by himself.
This Balaji Ram Narayan is a threat to a lot.
He's a threat, and I've watched him play so many times that after he gets his first item, and a lot of carries even in pubs, they think that once you get your first item in 15 minutes, let's farm for the other, let's farm for the third, let's farm for the fourth. But this is one thing that I've always seen in Signify. You pick up one big item at 15 minutes and then go with your team. Your carry is the most important player, and if he comes into a fight, you can finish any game in 20 minutes, because the strength is in that first role who has been given dedicatedly 15 minutes to do his job. And props to the rest of the team. I mean, Swifty playing the Wind Ranger, he did miss a few power shots in the early game, but later I did hear that there was a buff on the power shot, and later in the game Shakas was just fantastic. Negi playing really well over there. But Council, they got to be a little bit more careful and study the teams they're going up against, because most of the teams that they are playing are very hard to defeat. I mean, at the end of the game, the net worth was 26k. The top 3 net worths, top 4 if I'm not wrong, were all dedicated to Signify. So that is something where you just differentiate experience in tier brackets between 2 teams. And I think Council is a brilliant team. We've spoken about them before, and I think they're just not in their form as of now, and I'm hoping to see whether they come back much stronger the next game.
All right. Well, that sums up today's Dota 2 game there, and that also objectively, like the word she used.
Yeah, it is objective.
Ends today's edition of the ESL India Premiership, but we'll be back again tomorrow with more CR, CSGO, and Dota 2. But for today, this is all we have. I'm your host, Wagish Gotsleban,
and I'm Zara Angela Gonzalez.
And we'll see you again tomorrow, same time, same place. And don't forget to press the bell icon on the right-hand side of the YouTube channel page you're currently watching us on, so that you don't miss any further notifications. And also, Starter Cup 3 registrations are on. My social media personnel has informed me that I need to mention this, so Starter Cup 3 registrations are on. you can be part of the big and amazing ESL India Premiership. This has been brought to you by Omen by HP, HyperX and Intel, and presented to you by Nordwind Gaming and ESL India. We'll be signing out now, coming back again tomorrow.
Guy's out.
Decoy. That was beast.
Game, record, and stream without compromise on Intel Core i7.